nature of this game, of course, we say goodbye to Trent Cotchin and Jack Riewoldt from the Tigs, who both have very envious-like careers. You look at them and you go, what I'd love to have all the accolades that they've had. And, of course, Jack Ziebell from the North Melbourne Footy Club, who's been fantastic as well.
Days, I know we were listening to the boys on the Saturday Rub, but didn't Mrs. Taylor, Mrs. T, cut on Damo? She actually said to me, he is a stinker.
I heard that. The loudspeaker wasn't on, and I was still hearing quite audibly what she was going with. Yes. Not happy that he then discussed the little bit of vomit put in the side of the chair, but that's all right. That's all right. A good plug for your great podcast, The Life of Brian, of course.
It is indeed. Astua, good afternoon. I know you've been down to the library doing your research. Very unusual. Not many people visit a library these days, but you seem to be there a lot. That's unusual in itself.
It is unusual, but I absolutely love it.
What attracts you to the library here at the MCG?
Nice and quiet, BT. It enables me...
How big is it? Describe it for people that haven't been to the library.
Well, you've got this massive oval table that's virtually the size of the MCG. Apparently it was used by the Melbourne Football Club back in the Norm Smith days during the 50s, BT. Okay. So that's where I parked myself and did my preparation.
Right.
And, enormous amount of books as well.
Very nice. Historically, what have we got between these two mobs today, or is it about someone retiring? What have you got?
I'll just touch on a couple of quick stats here before I touch on the retirees. North Melbourne have won 2 out of the past 4 against the Tigers. Average losing margin for the Kangaroos was 53 points last year. In games a lot more this season. It's dropped down to 35. But the retirees, BT, Trent Cotchin, game number 306, 4th most for the Tigers. He's the club captain games records holder at Richmond with 188 matches and 3-time premiership play. And here's a stat for you with Trent Cotchin. 12 out of the previous 15 seasons, each finished in their top 10.
That's amazing, like Pendlebury.
In the BNF,
yeah. That is amazing.
And Jack Ziebell, 280 games, 10th most for the Kangaroos as well. Only his 22nd game played here at the Melbourne Cricket Ground.
Really?
Yeah.
22 games at the MCG?
First game at the MCG on debut back in 2009, and this will be his last game, so nice for the end.
Yeah, very good. Jay-Z's always got some news out and about downstairs. Jay-Z, good afternoon and welcome to you for Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yes, thank you, BT. All about 3 men down here today, isn't it? As you've mentioned, Jack Riewoldt, Trent Cotchin, Jack Ziebell, all brought their children through the banner out onto the MCG. Damien
Jay-Z, just stopping you there, did you see the, I think it was an NFL player or soccer player, brought their dog the other day through for the banner? NRL player, sorry, it was. They brought a dog through the banner.
How did you feel about that, Brian?
Well, I want to know how his wife and family felt about it. That was the most important thing in his life.
Yes, no pets out here today, mate, just the kids, of course. And Damien Hardwick down here too. He spent some time down in the Richmond change rooms just hanging out with his premiership heroes. So you'll see Dimmer in the crowd today, I am sure. And won't the Richmond players be looking for Jack Riewoldt and to an extent Trent Cotchin to kick a couple of snags today? I reckon in the second half they will all be about those two. As you mentioned, the late change. LDU out with that foot concern. That's unfortunate. Flynn Perez replaces him at North Melbourne. Blake Drury, Maurice Rioli, the subs. But BT, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So we're talking about Cotchin and Riewoldt. Mm-hmm. Is this the last time we'll see Dustin Martin out here in a Richmond jumper at the MCG? A lot of speculation on jungle jums beating about whether Damien Hardwick can lure him north to Gold Coast. You got a gut feel on that one?
I haven't got a gut feel on it, but you raise an interesting question and you just wonder that money's probably not a factor with Dusty. I wouldn't have thought he's going to get paid well wherever he goes. So just a matter of whether he wants to be a one-club player. I would have thought that he'd probably stay at the Tigers, and unless Dimmer is incredibly persuasive. What's your thought on it?
Well, he's certainly the people around him have been quite adamant all year that he wants to become a 300-game great of the Richmond Football Club. But you just wonder whether he might want to get out of Melbourne for a bit and have some sun and just sort of change up from a lifestyle point of view.
He doesn't do anything now. It's not like he's exposed to a lot, is it, in terms of media and stuff? They protect him with that.
No, that's a good point. But, I mean, remember, like Buddy, when you are a football rock star in this town, the spotlight, it does follow you. Where he could go up to Gold Coast. I'm not saying this is what he will do, but when you look at the pros and cons, he could go up there with Dimmer and be relatively anonymous to a much larger degree.
What do you think, Dave?
I don't think that Damien Hardwick would be posing that and putting pressure on him to come with him. I think that Dimmer would be looking at the legacy piece that he is going to leave at the Richmond Footy Club when he does leave Dusty Martin. And if he can get to 300 games with everything he's done there as a one-club player, that would mean a lot more, I'm sure, to not just Dusty but to Dimmer than for Dimmer to have him up for 1 year for personal gain so he can grab some sun and some anonymity.
Anything on match review last night out of last night's game?
Yeah, I suspect Bo McCreary will get a one-match suspension, so another key player lost for Collingwood as they prepare to take on Essendon on Friday night. You saw the dangerous tackle, the dumping tackle, McCreary on Darcy Wilmot, so he won't be out there on Friday night. I think you'll find he'll be released about 5 or 6 o'clock tonight, Brian.
Very nice, Jay-Z. Like your work downstairs. Stay tuned for Jay Clark down there, Bob Jane T-Marts, joining us on Triple M Football. Bernie Vince is also here. He's enjoying his lunch at the moment and getting stuck into it as we await this game to get underway. What are you thinking about this game today, Days? Are you sort of half interested or fully invested in it?
I'm invested from the sense that will Jack Riewoldt be targeted like we've seen a few other retirees doing, with the chance to kick.
So this is his last game.
He and Koch and Bow out today, last home game here, and they won't be going on any further. The same with Jack Zeeble. So I really look forward to it. Ben Mackay will probably get the matchup there on Riewoldt. It's not the easiest of matchups, but Riewoldt, obviously, with all his experience and class, if the ball comes in like the North Melbourne Footy Club can allow a few times, there will be options and opportunities for him to fill his boots today. And I love the fact when we're walking in here today, there's people everywhere. There's people genuinely everywhere for a team that's 13th v 17th. There'll be the best part of 55, 60,000, I believe, and rightfully so, showing their respects to the champions.
It is a really, really good crowd, as you rightly point out today. By the way, the umpires today, Matty Nichols, Paul Ribashini, Martin Roger and Nicholas McGuinness, the men that are getting involved. And the Tiger fans here, Trent Cotchin on the big scoreboard at the moment in the warm-up, and they're cheering him. So they've no doubt that the reason that Days has mentioned the crowd is simply because of those two here, because otherwise why would you probably come and watch the Tigers unless you're absolutely fanatical?
Absolutely. I think even the champion Dusty Martin put a call out to the Tigers faithful to come up, to show up in numbers and to get and send these blokes off in the right manner.
This is the Triple M footy prime time for Jim Beam. It's set to be an epic match, and that's worth raising a Jim Beam drink responsibly. Bernie, good afternoon and welcome to you.
Hey, Brian.
What are you going to take out of this game today? What are you looking forward to about it?
Well, with what Daisy said, I reckon clear out. Make it all about Jack Riewoldt today. Let's see if we can really fill up his boots. Josh Kennedy did it similarly last year with West Coast. I think he kicked 8 in the end in his final game, and honestly, it was tunnel vision. They were not looking anywhere else apart from Josh Kennedy. We saw Tex have a bit of a fill-up earlier this year against West Coast as well, and that was his 250th, not his last, but they were going for him as well. Let's have some fun today, because it's two teams that aren't going to be playing finals footy. So clear out the 50. Look for Riewoldt at all costs. Davies Uniacke out of the North Melbourne side. That's one reason you come to watch North Melbourne play, is to see that star run around. So disappointing he's laid out, but North Melbourne, they got their opportunities. Pretty good young midfield, but you'd think Richmond too good today.
Ash, Jack Riewoldt almost got to the 350, not quite.
Yeah, spot on, BT. Number 347. He also leads the club's goal-kicking table on 11 occasions. So he leads the club's goal-kicking as we speak. So this would be the 12th. Richo holds the record for the Tigers with 13.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be slightly disappointing to Jack, I would have thought.
Yeah, pipped by 1.
He won't be able to get to 13, Brian.
Big Cho also leads him overall, doesn't he?
Yeah, 800 majors for Matty Richardson. I think 786 for Jack Riewoldt. Yeah.
So he's short on a couple of them.
So he's kept it all locked up there, and he moves on to the next player that wants to challenge his record. It's always good when you can retain your records, I guess, not pass them down. I'm sick of hearing past champions say, I'm so thankful that he broke my record. What a load of bullshit. What a load of nonsense.
They have to say it, Brian.
Very good. What are you handing me, Ash? Biggest crowd North have played in front of this year?
Yes, it's not very often they play in front of 50,000 fans. So, as Daisy said, we're probably about 55, maybe nudging close to 60 today.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Tossing the coin out in the middle, Jack Zeeble at the moment. Out there with Dylan Grimes. Zeeble has a win, and he's kicked towards the city end of the MCG. So we're just about to get underway. Jay-Z, back down to you for Bob Jane T-Marts. Bob Jane T-Marts have great buy 3 get 1 free plus instant cashback deals. Call or order online today. T's and C's apply. Subs
Yes, it's a Blake Drury for North Melbourne and Maurice Rioli for Richmond. There's not much of a breeze down here at the moment, BT. There was a forecast of a shower or two later this afternoon, but the rain radar looking pretty clear, so hopefully we stay dry down here today.
All right, we're ready to go. Lights are on at the MCG. They don't mind using a bit of electricity here.
No.
And just soaking up that last bit of coal power. Ash, I don't think we're on the old battery or windmill here yet.
Not these days.
Very good. Bit of diesel with the generator, nothing like it.
Save that for the podcast, Brian.
Yes. Have I got a podcast? How's it going, Brian? Yeah, it's going pretty well, actually. Thanks for
I was about to ask that.
Life of Brian. Tune in if you want and have a bit of a listen to something decent. All right, JB, we're ready to go here at the MCG. I know you can't wait for this.
We are. The Kangaroos at the home of football to take on the Tigers. Second last game of the year for both of these clubs. And we are ready to go. Big, deep breath from the umpy. And a good bounce too. Sherry, also Nankervis. A little attempt to soccer it off the ground by Cochin. And then Taron Thomas jumped in and ripped it in. So Dusty Martin, the first free kick for Richmond.
Martin immediately out of the middle, wheels and goes, wastes no time, clobbers it as long as he can get it. Pickett got under the footy a little bit. The 2-7s go at it. Zeeble and Baker. Cochin with the win, shaft off the handball, and he's taken high, Cochin. So he'll get a shot at goal here. 45 metres out directly in front. Trent Cochin at the punt road end.
Well, Jim, we spoke to Timsy from Neds pre-game, and he said all the money's been coming for Trent Cochin. The first goal of the game from, I think, about 20s into about 12. So
distance might test him a little, you reckon?
Bang a torp. It's your last game, surely.
we're not going to get...
He goes the pass. Short ball to Presti, and it wasn't going to be played anyway. It wasn't the required distance, and Matty Nichols was right there.
Trent.
And we'll have a ball up.
There's only one person you're allowed to pass that to, and that would have been Jack Rewalt.
Yeah, maybe he was thinking string there if I try and whack this.
And Curvis down, Taranto held in, and another ball up. 40 from the punt road goal. Tigers heading in that direction in this first term. No score as yet. Sherry again down. Phillips fights for it with Martin. No one able to get a clean possession. Tucker taken in a really ferocious Taranto tackle, and the footy goes out. 25-30 around from the Tigers' goal.
Ben Mackay has got that match up on Jack Rewalt, and up the other end, it's Young who's gone to Larkey instead of Bolter.
Right in front of the McDonald's signage that surrounds the MCG at the moment, the My Macca's app. Boundary throw in here. Nankervis knocking it down. Prestia an almost moment there. Spills. McIntosh is out wide. He's dispossessed of the ball here by Turner. Turner kicks it towards the southern stand wing in front of the Warren stand here, picked up by Curtis. Saw him the other night doing a little gig out in the town. Handball comes backwards, now in the hands here of Tucker.
Back, North Melbourne advantage.
North Melbourne free, goes to Curtis. Curtis immediately playing on with the ball that gained good meterage here and couldn't quite run on to that occasion, Thomas. And we'll have a boundary throw in the forward end of the ground here for the Kangaroos, which is the city end in this first quarter for the Kangas.
What type of gig, Brian?
Oh, he was at a presentation function in his old junior league where he played.
Okay, that's nice.
Giving back something that you guys haven't done.
Yeah.
So that's all I ever do is Taranto has it held into Phillips and just dropped the ball on the ground. Howe then with a little play on it, short with him.
What about you, Days? You've been back to the old hunting ground and given something back?
2,500 gets me anyway, Brian.
Kristen, Toby.
Cash.
So now exactly 50 from the city end. The ball's going to be thrown in again. So sloppy start to this game at the G. Sherry and Nankervis again. Howe instantly wrapping up his direct opponent in a tackle.
Kristen, Toby.
And that was Trent Cochin, and we're going to have a ball up. So the ball ain't going anywhere.
No, it's not. Matty Nichols in charge here. Little knockdown it comes here to Taranto. Taranto a little kick sideways and backwards that went out of bounds. The umpire could have almost deemed it deliberate, but because it went backwards, he saw no point. We'll throw it in inside attacking 50 here for the Kangas. You might have heard the little phone ring in the background. Not often that JB leaves his phone on, but...
No, I haven't got the phone on.
Okay, we'll be in a...
I don't know who that was.
Ash. One of them.
Ash. Jesus Christ, Ash.
Is that three now?
He's checking all of them.
Don't tell me this is true.
Toby.
All right, Nankervis here. Greenwood as well. Greenwood did well, took the ball out of the middle, didn't make real good contact with the footy, in fact none. Bills to Curtis. So this game hasn't reached great heights in the
Any
opening
heights.
4 minutes of the game as yet.
Pretty low, Brian.
It's been a stoppage fest. That's what it's been. Curtis picks it up. Handball off to Tucker. Floats it inside 50. Larkey coming back with the flight hard. Through came Turner. Little fumble there from Taylor. And a free kick
Richmond, Dylan Grimes.
is going to go to Dylan Grimes for holding the ball against Jai Simpkin.
Yeah, you can't fumble at this level. Well called, Jim. Curtis Taylor just got to take that ball clean. He's having a shot on goal, but just fumbled, brought himself, invited the pressure, and then turned it over.
Here's Cochrane, centre half back to Daniel Rioli. Recovered from his lower leg injury. His kick to Prestia, not what it should have been in the end. Cochrane made it work for Prestia, though. Prestia a little knock forward, couldn't get it to work into any sort of area that the Tigers could capitalise. We'll have another ball up right on the wing as jumping on the footy was Sheasel. Right on the AFL Toyota logo there. Doing the ruckwork, Sherry. Picked up here by Hopper, back in the side. Out wide to the half-forward flank and Baker on the northern side of the ground. Little handball, sharp it was here to Ross. Ross chipping to Rewald on the lead. He got pushed over. Over the top went Mackay. No winner in the end. Rewald comes back for a second bite. Tried to get the handball off to Bolton. Didn't quite work. And a clearing ball out of trouble by Scott.
Bouncing through the middle, Nick Floston with a nice spinning move. Gave it to Grimes by hand and he flicks it wide and gets it into the hands of Short. Now Hopper's got it on the wing out of side. Tigers to the punt road end, no score as yet in this game.
Play on.
Hopper goes with a little drilling ball that's nice.
Stand.
And finds Shea Bolton outside 50.
Stay out, Daniel.
Normally does this part of the game really well.
Leave it on. Play on.
This goes to the set-up kick into the pocket. There is Rewald. It's belted away from him and out of play.
Nico.
And we're going to get a ball in about 25 around from Richmond's punt road goal.
6 minutes played, no score.
11th stoppage already. AFL average 17 per quarter.
Wow. We're going to have a feast.
Only 6 minutes
today. Yeah. Incredible. Have a listen to the lull. They're really not
talking about it.
Excited yet.
Stoppage.
Little one here from Martin. Handball comes out to Bolton. Bolton got it out here to Hopper. Now back to Martin. Little left foot kick around the corner looking for Ross. Punched away from here on that occasion by Curtis Taylor. Picked up by Prestia, who's been prominent early. Left foot kick very, very high and will go through for a behind. So first score of the game coming 6.5 minutes in. It's a behind to the Tigers. That's what they lead by on the Shell scoreboard. Shell V-Power, the official fuel partner of the AFL.
Zeeble sees something he likes. It's Tucker.
Camden, play on.
He takes the mark at half back and then handballs to Bailey Scott, who's had a good year for the Kangaroos. Couple of bounces down the outer wing, pursued by McIntosh. Goes looking for Curtis, couldn't hang on.
Wow.
And then soccers it off the ground. Phillips has got to body line the ball. He's got a couple to beat. Tried to flick it up, but it only went as far as Dow for the Tigers. And he finds Bolton on the wing. They've got runners ahead. Dow's one of them. To half forward, inside 50. Here's Dusty. Up against the line. He's got Baker on short. He goes back and finds Jack. And they're going to do this a lot today. Try and spot up number 8.
Well, it's good to see. Unselfish from Dusty. As we've seen throughout the season so far, the Kangaroos' defence just not organised enough. The ball went inside deep into their 50 into transference. You look up the other end, Richmond have 2 spares, so too much ball watching from the North Melbourne defenders, and the Tigers good enough to pick their way through.
Just a glimpse of Jack soaking up camera time there.
Yeah, and probably some screen time.
Yeah.
From about 48, he's going to take a shot. Boy! That is the worst kick you will ever see. That is an absolute mung sack.
That's hard to do.
That is impossible to do.
That's the toe, off the toe, I reckon. Incredible stuff.
He missed his foot.
A little handball here from Ford, goes backwards, puts Larkey under a bit of the pump.
Wow.
Back to Ford, beautiful handball, setting up the run here, and the kick is really ordinary by Goda.
The Goda.
And we'll see it thrown back into play here. Well, horrific kick by Jack Rewalt.
Oh, Harvey Norman replay, just saw the ball drop. It rotated more hand to foot than it did when it went foot to goal.
Shocker. It goes down here by Dow, up very wide. That'll go over the line out of bounds, so we'll throw it in again here. Half forward for the Tigers.
Combined kicking efficiency between the two sides, 48%. The AFL average is 66.
Wow.
Sam Newman once said at a table at a restaurant in Docklands, we must have better food. We must have better football than this. This is junk. This is complete and unadulterated junk.
Remember on the boat trip we went on with Sam, he said he ushered the cook out to the back of the stern of the boat after being presented a tiny quiche the size of a pancake. He said, if you ever service another little quiche like this, you'll be in big, big trouble. And we got big meals from that time on.
From that moment on. Pumped a long one, but only as far as
8 of us sitting
on the
there.
wing.
Spud, Dunstall, you.
Outside of myself, some big eaters.
Yes. And he served a quiche the side of a muffin.
He didn't make that mistake again. Noah Bolter to the outer side. Short's got it on the wing. He goes short to Dusty Martin. Always wants to go with the footy. Gets around Kane Turner. Handball back to the little meatball Prestia, and he goes to half forward. Hopper. Handball off to Dusty. Surely sort this game out. He does. The champ slots it. And that is the first of the afternoon. 1-1-7. North Melbourne haven't scored. Triple M Shell scoreboard.
Finally we get someone hits the footy right. It's been so many mistakes in this game, a lot of stoppages, a lot of slow plays. But Richmond, they just look the more dangerous team. They're somehow getting frees ahead of the ball, just using those short spot up kicks. North Melbourne, if they get a free, they're just dropping deep, trying to get back probably in front of Jack Riewoldt, thinking it's going to come there, but just the little spot up kicks, allowing Richmond just to enter inside 50. That time it was Prestia to Hopper, a little handball off to Dusty, and finishes nicely.
So back here after that first goal, just watching the umpires separating the group meetings in each forward 50, saying, guys, someone needs to get back to the goal square before we can start this. Down to you, JZ.
BT Jack Riewoldt just come to the bench for a little breather. Fair to say, still not over the sack kick at shot a goal.
No, that's something that'll stay with him for the rest of his career, which is going to be short from here on in. There is an opportunity for big Ivan Soldo. Soldo with a sidewinder into Cochin, couldn't quite glove it. Turn around, got it, beautiful. Sheasel. Kick was a little hurried, more than it needed to be. Curtis Taylor mops it up. Simpkin there as well. Spills a little ball to Tucker. Tucker not quite. Journey to Simpkin now. Picks it up nicely on the half volley. Gave the handball off to Powell. Powell over the top to Thomas. Thomas inside the square. Runs to 50. City into the ground. Hooked the ball badly. Curtis is there. Mark almost taken by Bolter. Over the line and out of bounds, over boundary, throw in deep for the Kangas.
Just barbecued three forwards there. Did Thomas, looked up, looked straight towards goal. He had players out everywhere, just had to lower the eyes. And if this club's going to continue to improve, they're the things they need to demand of one of their better players.
Yeah, he had 7 options and chose the 7th worst. There's work to the front here. Goldstein, Curtis gets her out of the tackle, and then with the outside of the boot tries the miracle banana. That was never going to work. Across the face out the full.
See, doesn't the blue and white against the black and gold stand out here at the MCG? Yes. Have a look at the City and golds down there, and you can, the stark difference in colours. I guess blue and white is very different from gold and black.
Even the Guernseys on field, though, Brian, I know we're having a bit of a laugh about it. We've had clashes throughout the year. This is good. I like this.
It is. It's very contrasting. High footy here. Goldstein, in the end, had no contest. Yes. Against Taranto, back inside here. Good-looking ball. Umpire says play on. It was touched. I think it was Cochin that maybe got a fingertip to it.
Come on, umpire.
And this is umpire Nicholas McGuinness. He's a newbie, so he'll go easy on him.
Hard enough for us to get some flow in this game when you're not paying them. Another touch ball. Perez can't get a handle on it on the wing. McDonald lays a tackle. Lots of Tigers in the area. Ross, one of them, flicks it forward to Pickett. Pickett goes for a long one inside 50. Cochin, hands to it, couldn't hang on. Handball on the up, misses. Scott comes through with the left foot ball, dumps it to centre half forward. Through comes Todd Goldstein nicely. Handball to Curtis. Curtis has got nowhere to go, gives it to Turner. And Turner finds Simpkin with a nice ball.
A beautifully weighted ball it was. Simpkin able to play on as a result of that. Got it to Thomas. Thomas couldn't mark the ball, but he recovered it at ground level. Wheeled around on the right boot. 48 metres out. Set sail for home. Missed. To the right-hand side, and once again burnt another one or two on the way going forward. He has got the eyes focused heavily on the big tall timber. There's no doubt about it. 7 plays 1 in favour of the Tigers.
He's got the apron on, the tongs in hand. He's just cooking everyone today.
He wants the single-hand sponsorship with barbecues galore.
Webbecue.
Yes.
You'd think after you stuffed the first one up that badly, you'd probably look for a teammate second time round, but he didn't.
Let's check the third time.
Baker, handball into space. Ross runs onto it. He gets taken in a tackle. His handball goes straight into the hands of Tucker. And then Phillips fumbled a ball with no one anywhere near him, and now it goes out. And we get the ball in right in front of Jay-Z, interchange gates. 1-1-7 Richmond, North Melbourne 1 behind.
They need to tidy this game up, these players.
We've had one goal kicked, as JB mentioned, in 14 minutes of footy in perfect conditions at the G. Good crowd, plenty of motivation here to play well. Departing players today are plenty. Still a lot of players getting send-offs. Far too many in my book. Here's Martin.
Yours,
Got to be over 250, I think, to attract any attention. Too many under that mark. I saw someone get carried off in their 200th last night. It was astonishing.
These are all over 250, bro.
Maybe, guys.
Well, that's good. But there's been others. So boundary throwing right in front of the MCC members here now.
Name any or?
And Soldo. Just I've got a list of them in my diary, but
still running the diary.
Still running the day to a page diary.
Day to a page.
Day to a page.
Wow, you're rare. You're rare.
Have a lot on, Bernie. You just turn up on the odd occasion on the weekend, but I turn up every day. Boundary throw in front of the MCC members. 6-point lead. It's a real hush here at the moment.
It is.
You can tell it's just it's like a bit of spaghetti simmering on the pot. There is Martin. Martin handball
just
picked up by Hopper. Hopper back inside to Dow, knocks it back down. This time it's intercepted here by the Ruse Powell. Handball off to Simpkin. Simpkin to Greenwood. Greenwood left foot touch around the corner. Thomas. Here he is, the barbecue boy. Barbecue boy. The stakes are well done by now, and he's going to line up from 35 directly in front. Aaron Thomas.
He's had a couple of looks at it, as we've mentioned, but this one a set shot. Should go back. Very nice user of the footy. I like his set shot routine too. Runs straight, kicks through the footy. Pretty uncomplicated, Brian. You have a look at this.
Yeah, very focused he is. And he's taking the full 30 allotted. Let's have a look at the kicking action that was described by Byrne. Here he comes. Getting close to the man on the mark he is. Very close. Comes in, kicks it nice, uncomplicated. High ball. Get a goal. North get there first. 1-1-7 apiece on the Triple M Shell scoreboard.
Well, they did a good job, North, to win the ball back in the middle, sacrificing a lot of numbers in and around the contest already, as we've seen in this one. The stoppage is high, but that means they get their opportunity when it is still in the bubble. They won it back, and the ball is going forward. Greenwood was the one who got the handball. A good lead there on the Harvey Norman from Taron Thomas. And he is a nice set shot, Burn. You're right. Just rolls in, couple of steps, a little bit of momentum, runs straight, which is the key. Good ball drop and a nice goal.
And he's played the last 10 games, Taron Thomas for North Melbourne, averaging 19 disposals, 4th at the club for score involvements and 4th for pressure acts, averaging 23 per game.
Right, Ash, thanks for that. 1-1-7 apiece. Got any other games going on, by the way, Ash?
We have very shortly at 2:10. It's Suns taking on Carlton.
Oh, big game. Big game. Goldie wins the ball, clean out of the middle, gives it to Simpkin. Simpkin a long ball inside 50. Curtis at the back. Oh, should have hung on in the end. Flicks it to Powell. Powell gets boot to ball, but coughs it up, and Cochin takes the relieving mark.
He immediately switches the play to the south side through Prestia. Prestia's kick out wide to Bolton. Bolton's got a runner in wide if he wants. Going to use that to try and draw the defender. The defender doesn't come, so Bolton kicks it up towards Pickett. Over the head it comes. Spills down low to Dow. He ran straight over the top of it, didn't bend the back. The tackle applied by the Tigers here and held to him. And we'll have a ball up at half forward right in front of the Shane Warne stand. On the bottom of that was Scott. Umpire Rebasheni. Nan Curvis. Goldstein. And we'll ball it up again.
Half forward Tigers. Out of side. Simpkin goes to track it. Taranto with him, and they're both pretty happy to escort the ball out.
It's on, Toby.
So 2 legends for the Tigers and Jack Zeeble for North Melbourne exit. Interesting that both Cochin and Revolt can't be asked getting on a plane and playing that final game interstate.
That is interesting. I've
pulled up stumps. I've had enough. Howe forward. One down to Graham, though. Graham with a floating ball inside 50. Mackay back with really good hands. And then the quick delivery to Zeeble. Zeeble pumps a long one. Eddie Ford. Got to take that. Well, he get a free anyway.
Lucky.
So forward at half back.
Winning key contests at the moment, though, North Melbourne, right back in this game. Richmond were all over them early in the first 5 or 6 minutes, but just winning the contested footy now.
Bernie Vince on Triple M football. Sebas Super. There's Bolter. Little left foot in front of the MCC members, and interchange area on the northern side. Went through Baker. Tidying it up at the back is Ford. Got the handball to Zeeble. The outgoing Zeeble. He's got some work here for Goldstein and also Goda. Goda arrives first. Neat little ball for him. Very, very wide. They're going north, but they've got control, and that is the main thing. Ball back inside. Handball over the top comes to Powell. Powell tackled from behind at the same time as he kicked it and just took him off balance, and the Mainer score. So 1-2-8 North to Richmond 1-1-7 on the Triple M Shell scoreboard.
Just interested days in those conversations that the two legends have had with the hierarchy at Richmond. Look, I'm finishing up, and I can't be asked with the last game, so I just want to finish the game before the last game.
Yeah, I think with the club being a home game as well, they'll certainly be happy with that. More numbers through the gate, more money for them.
Adelaide too far away.
Keep an eye on the jumper swaps and the boot swaps at quarter time. There'll be cash going everywhere.
Good mark. Goldstein gave it to Scott. Scott a long one. Larkey was absolutely pig-rooted by Young. He was driven hard into the ground. And now we've got a locked-up ball inside 50. I'm watching it very closely, ball up.
Or is it because they fancied themselves with the win here rather than Port Adelaide in the last game? Go out on the win. Does that make any difference?
It's all about cash days, yeah. I've worked out.
I'm just thinking from a financial point of view.
It's clever.
Put into the cashola part of the game.
Everything's making cash.
Not many think of, but it's rushed through for a behind here to the Kangas. So 9 plays 7 now.
Outside 5.
Interesting how you've gone that track, Days. And
envelopes and
just off everywhere these days. High footy, Mackay almost marked it on his chest, and ball goes over the line. Boundary umpire right there says we'll throw it in here on the wing on the northern side of the ground as the grey skies come from the west.
Oh, nice though, pushing
of the city. There's the odd bit of sunshine poking through, but I wouldn't say it's an over-endowed day of sunshine.
No, right. We can enjoy the bit we're getting right at the minute, though. Dow, handball, gets it back, and then releases Hopper through the middle. He goes to the outer side. Good ball for Shea Bolton.
Play on.
Running with him is Graham. Ignores that and sticks it inside 50. And here comes Big Ivan.
Aiden. Back in.
Ivan Soldo
Just there.
from about 40 out.
Anything could happen here, Jim.
Tight angle.
Look how far back he's going.
If Jack Riewoldt hit his like he did, this could go anywhere.
He's got a long head.
20 goals
Like a
from his 55 games.
What is it with Ivans at Richmond with long hair and
weird setups?
Croatian?
Yeah, he's got the long run-up going here.
Fatigued.
Yeah, right, here he is.
Not sure he'll make it in there.
Take a good set shot for this to go through. Soldo, kick on the way. It's across the face and a behind. 1-2 to 1-3. Kangaroos by a point.
Nearly come off his knee then.
Got close, didn't he? After all that, went back to the fence and then got too close.
Yep.
Stand.
To the man on the mark. Maybe should go a bit longer back.
Yep.
Little short kick here.
Outside 5.
Finds an opportunity with Howe. Howe even shorter and back inside the Sheasel in the danger zone. Umpire says you've got to keep going, mate. Off the mark you go. So North are trapped in defence here at the moment. Clearing ball from Core was just a hack and hope through the middle of the ground, and it's going to come back because here are the Tigers getting hold of it. Outside the back, little handball was from Graham. And they maintain control here, so showing them a clean set of heels at the moment. Hopper. Little kick back inside. Dow the target. He marks comfortably. It's a very nice game of football at the moment. Dow at half forward, 60 metres out.
Moving on, play on.
Thought about the handball to the running player coming past. Decides to kick inside 50, and it'll go straight down the throat of Mackay, who dropped an uncontested mark. In the end, there was no one else's hand near it. Cause look at the North Melbourne players. There's 4 of them. They're boxed in, and Richmond have surrounded them. And eventually, he got the handball out to Taron Thomas.
Taron Thomas can get going out of side. Got a nice block, and then sticks it to half forward. Ford's got work to do with Broad. Having a bit of a wrestle. Ford got out the back. Bolter there as well. Sherry just fell to the ground. Just fell over. On the up, the handball misses everyone but Larkey, who's going to kick a goal.
Oh, God.
Eventually, he jams it through. It took a long time and some weird-ass behaviour. But Larkey in the end kicks his first, having a very good year. And North Melbourne get their second, 2-3 to 1-2 on the Triple M Shell scoreboard.
Well, it's not overly pretty at the minute, but for North Melbourne, if they could tidy up the kick going inside forward 50, they'd be well in top on in this game at the moment. We've seen the two burns from Thomas there, and on that occasion they ended up with extra numbers, North Melbourne out the back, 2 and 3 of them. They finally tidied it up through Larkey. If you're the Richmond Footy Club, you wouldn't be too happy with the transference of play. You had them pinned down in that forward pocket at your own end, and just through a string of handballs, long kick, they were able to win critical contest and then take all the territory back.
Tell us about that other game, Ash. What time does that start?
It's about to get underway at 2:10 BT.
Where's that being played, Ash?
Heritage Bank Stadium.
Who's playing, Ash?
Gold Coast versus Carlton.
I'm not sure why you couldn't give us all that information in one hit rather than 3 questions to get the same information. Ball out the back door to Phillips. Shove it off the handball here. Through the centre they go. I think it might have been Tucker taking them on. It was. He's ran himself into a little bit of a trap here now. Howe got the little handball off Howe. Goes out wide and finds Phillips. Phillips with a very, very wide kick, gobbled up here by Floston. That half back as you expect.
Such a poor option from Phillips. Had a short on and a long on and kicked it in between.
He looked inside Floston. He was going to kick inside the centre square and then realised it was Ivan Soldo and perhaps he would limit the opportunity. 50-metre here will help Ross go from half back to half forward. He'll be 55 metres out from the punt road goal. Ross, short kick, finds an opportunity with Prestia, and he's marked 49 metres out. Man on the mark is on the 49-metre line. Prestia goes short kick to Soldo. Soldo's marked 35 out directly in front.
17 Kangaroos players. Inside forward 50 then. And somehow they managed to find the ruckman unopposed. Not sure where his direct opponent was, but not paying a whole lot of attention with Sherry.
He might be going back to the centre circle here, Ivan Soldo.
Sherry's
35 metres is where the man is.
I know what Sherry's arguing about. He's definitely his man.
20.
He's blaming Curtis Taylor.
This is a 32-metre run-up.
Tell me he doesn't get too close again, Brian.
32-metre run-up here for Ivan Soldo.
Here he goes.
Directly in front, 35 metres out. Gets very close to the man on the mark. Drills it home. They get around him. Well, with a minimum of fuss. 2-2-14 to the Roos, 2-3-15 on the Triple M Shell scoreboard.
Good point, though, Days. There's so many numbers inside D50 from a North Melbourne point of view. Someone has to just... They're just guarding space. So we've seen the Harvey Norman replay. Sherry just... Oh, I don't know what he was thinking.
He was just wandering back to the goal line.
I think he was thinking, should I go back to the goal line to try and touch this? Should I? And then by the time he worked out where his man was, he already had it. So he's trying to blame Curtis Taylor for not coming down and taking him. But at some stage, you've got to put your hand up as a ruckman and stand the other ruckman. He didn't do that, and that goal was the result.
It's a decent idea of what he was thinking, but you just have to get the communication part right at the start.
Got to hand over, don't you? You've got to get someone to take your man before you go.
And make sure it's done rather than just assume.
Who are you seeing, Bristol?
Well, I'm seeing Kevin Bartlett. Who else do we see there, Joe?
Robbie Tarrant, Damien Hardwick.
And Damien Hardwick in the stands here today.
Stands, of course, farewelling some of the greatest players Richmond have ever had.
Ball's touched.
KB, of course, was one of them as well. This ball's touched, so play on. That man doesn't realise it. And he's gone. Just got the handball away. Clever touch.
Hey.
And a good stiff arm there from Dusty. Now it's Nathan Broad with the ball at half back. And he floats a left footer along the line. Oh! Jack Siebel!
No way!
Massive climb in his last game. And then he's going to turn it over.
Play on.
Big clunk though from Siebel. It's going to end up with a goal for Richmond. Shea Bolton running inside 50. Straightens up. Floats it through. So Siebel knows he hacked the kick. But the mark was superb. And Richmond... 20 points, North Melbourne 15 on the Shell scoreboard.
And Baker looked at him when he was on the ground.
I think they both pissed themselves laughing. We have a look on the Harvey Norman replay. Good Jack Siebel. Oh, knee in the head too. Up he goes, lands on the backside, extra theatre and points there. Little Liam Baker looks back at him surprised, and they both had a chuckle.
Got too excited, Jack Siebel.
Yep, and then just butchered it inboard.
Thought I'll just turn this over straight to 3 Richmond players inside because I just want that poster on my wall when I retire, please.
That is the poster mark. There's no doubt about it. Bolton finishes as a result, though, with an easy goal. Ash, let's go around the ground for Choice Hotels.
3 minutes into the first quarter. Suns 1 straight 6. Blues yet to score.
Jay-Z Baker comes towards you and he's seeing if he's got any blood on the back of his head.
Yeah, a bit of claret just streaming down his neck there. So I think a cut in the back of his head. He's still having a bit of a laugh about it, Liam Baker.
Big smile. Well, he knows he's going to be in the poster for Jack Zeebel's last game. That is for sure.
He wouldn't have ever taken a hanger, would he, Jack Zeeble, Jim?
None. None ever.
It wasn't bad technique either.
Good.
Beautifully done. It was like using the marking bag. We'll have another ball up in the middle, right in the centre circle here of the NCG. By the way, the grass is wearing a little thin here, isn't it? I don't know whether they'll replace it before finals or just put a bit of water and light on it. I'm not sure with you no days you need light to grow grass. Here's Grimes. Little handball backwards now. Comes to Young. Martin wanting it. Graham was there. He was bowled over immediately. Picked up by Dusty. Dusty, funny little chip kick. Taranto, quick handball. Prestia avoided the Zeeble tackle. Then the little kick out wide looking for McIntosh. Found him. McIntosh 55 metres out from goal here. Rioli demanding it in the pocket. Going to get it deep in the pocket on the boundary line, but about 40 metres out, Daniel Rioli.
Have to stay alert here, the North Melbourne defenders. They've been done once over with a pulled kick.
Standing there.
Rioli talented enough, though, to finish this.
Yep. It's going to snap.
Around the corner he is actually at 47 metres.
I like it.
So he's snapping around the corner from 47. He's got to hit it.
He hit the middle
Perfectly, and he didn't. He got it skinny. And it's going to be short and wide and out of bounds. And scoreboard reads 3-2-20 the Tigers, North 2-3-15 late in this first quarter.
Snap that 17 metres.
Hold the meter.
And he needed 45 metres.
Just 30 short.
Yeah. So they get a ball in, though. Dangerous spot. 30 seconds left, so North Melbourne not wanting to cough one up here.
Play on.
Sherry just worked it down to the ground. Sheasel tried to rip it out of there. Bolton's so dangerous.
Play on.
Somehow
Play
got boot
on.
to ball. Play on because it's not far enough. Spiked back into a dangerous spot. Zeeble, Taron Thomas, Perez. Larky's got to try and stand under this footy now. Bailey Scott flicks it forward. Simpkin,
big hit.
lucky not to be unloaded. Centre of the ground. And we've got 7 seconds left.
Yep, we have indeed. And it's a 5-point Richmond lead here. Umpire Nicholas McGuinness will throw it up in the middle. Be no further score added to the scoreboard. It hasn't been a quarter that'll go in the record books, that is for sure. Preston explores, siren sounds, Rewalt disappointed. 3-2-20 the Tigers here in the first quarter. North Melbourne 2-3-15. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks football.
That quarter for Shell V-Power, the official fuel partner of the AFL.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
this week, score 20% off your entire order when you spend $10. Only on the My Macca's app.
Hi, it's Marty Sheargold from Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show, and right now, Triple M rocks football. Max Gawn. Gawn and Grundy combination. This is the one that's been gripping the nation. All the rage. What are we calling it?
I like Gawn and Grundy personally, but
there's Grundy.
Name's Grundy. There's Tap Brothers, which is gross.
Tap Brothers.
It's like a Will Ferrell movie.
Yep.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. Weekdays from 6 on Triple M. Get the podcast now from the Listener app.
Sizzling bacon and juicy 100% Aussie Angus meets a golden cheesy patty. The new Cheesy Angus at Macca's. Now that puts the win in winter. Available after 10:30am for a limited time.
Go on! Get the big guy what he really wants this Father's Day. Total Tools has Father's Day gifts totally sorted with a massive gift guide out now. 25% off the selected Datum laser range, like the Datum 300-metre green rotary laser kit was $899, now a cracking $674. Unbeatable! Not sure what to get the big guy? Grab a Total Tools gift card so he can shop over 60,000 tools and accessories. Total Tools, totally sorted.
When you're talking footy with your mates, it's time to raise a Jim Beam. So, grab some Jim Beam before the game this week. But remember, everyone can benefit from a spell on the interchange. Drink responsibly.
Harvey Norman's big screen bonus deals are now. Save $700 on Samsung 65-inch S90C OLED TV, now $3,595 plus bonus $360 gift card. LG 77-inch B3 OLED Smart TV, now $6,495 plus bonus $650 gift card. Super deal. Save $3,000 on super-sized Sony Bravia 98-inch Google TV, now $9,995 plus bonus $1,000 gift card plus bonus local delivery and wall mount installation. Limited time, now at Harvey Norman.
New Depend washable underwear are absorbent briefs for blokes with light bladder leaks. Comfy and discreet, all you'll notice is up to 12 hours of protection. Just wear, wash and wear again. In store now at select Woolworths and Chemist Warehouse stores.
Hey, old mate's just booked off sick again.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Nah, it's all good. I've just called Construct Personnel.
Well, who's Construct Personnel?
Well, they're ex-tradies recruiting tradies. And they've got labourers and tradies ready to go.
No
Yep, they're sending a tradie out now.
What? Legends.
Construct Personnel. Tradies recruiting tradies. Call 1300 Labour or search Construct Personnel, a leading labour hire company in Victoria.
Prepare to be moved with the Nissan Pathfinder. With a V6 engine and intelligent 4x4, it's no longer where you adventure, but who you are when you come home. Contact your local Nissan dealer to book a test drive today.
Ready for the footy?
Yep, let's go.
Let's skip the lights and jump on CityLink.
Just like the footy, Transurban's Melbourne made, and we want fans to get to the game quickly and safely. Whether you're travelling to the G or Marvel, CityLink will help you get to the first bounce on time.
How about a kick before the game?
You bet.
Transurban, operator of Linked.
Shut up! The footy's on the radio!
Triple M rocks footy. This quarter for Beacon Trade. Beacon Trade's here to partner with your business with lighting and electrical products for every Aussie home. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
Quarter time at the MCG for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. 5-point lead to the Tigers. 3-2-20. North 2-3-15. Ash with the Red Z lending stats.
Dustin Martin, number one ranked player, 12 disposals and a major. And Jack Siebel, leading ball winner for North with 9 touches.
Jay-Z, Bob Jane team arts.
BT, Liam Baker went down to the rooms with the doctor just to get his head patched up. Copped the knee in the back of his head from that Jack Siebel screamer, but he'll be right to continue playing. Just watching both huddles the past couple of minutes, pretty relaxed vibe out there. I've certainly seen more intense huddles, so sort of an enjoyable day at the footy here today for both sides, sort of.
Rewalt approaching the umpires at quarter time, JB, about the warning he got for the setting of the ground.
And I don't blame him, Bristol, because I was looking at exactly where he was when that was called, and he was in the right spot.
So he went and questioned that and spoke to the umpires about it. So that warning may be withdrawn. Let's have a listen to listen to Days and Bernie with the C-Bus Super.
Well, the game didn't reach great heights in that first quarter. Both sides sending extra numbers up and around the contest. So a lot of stoppages to get it going. North Melbourne, when they broke through, they did look pretty dangerous going inside forward 50. Just that last kick was the real area for improvement of them. Not able to find a target. A lot of players having... And most of those players were Taron Thomas having shots at goal rather than trying to lower the eyes. The Tigs almost felt like they were toying with them a bit, Burn.
Yep.
Scored pretty easily, moved the ball by foot. Again, though, couldn't just make the most of it.
They're winning key contests, though, North Melbourne. They're in the fight. They're in the fight today. They just lack composure or, execution at certain times. There's a lot of fumbling going on. There's a lot of missed kicks. There's a lot of floaters going on out there, Brian. So they're just making mistakes, but they're winning enough of the footy. They're winning the clearance battle. Contested footy going really well as well. So if they stick at that and start linking these offensive chains, they're going to find scores. So I certainly wouldn't be disappointed from a North Melbourne point of view. They're right in this game. They just need to finish off their players, Daisy was saying, inside 50, and that's due to, Thomas burning a few of his teammates and just that execution.
Choice Hotels, Ash, hasn't been a good start for the Blues.
No, we're almost halfway into the first quarter. The Suns 3-2-20, leading the Blues by 19 points, one solitary behind.
Dangerous place to play footy, the Gold Coast.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Blues getting the stick at the moment up there with the Gold Coast. We're ready to go in the second quarter. Here's JB.
Umpire wandering in to bounce the ball. Nankervis, Goldstein, one down by Goldstein brilliantly. Taron Thomas has a bounce, streaming out of the centre. This time he lowers the eyes to Big Suvalark. It gets beyond him. And dribbles through for a behind, so not a great result for what was a really good centre clearance. It's Richmond by 4 points.
Another torture of execution. Like, that's just, there's no one on him. Taron Thomas streaming out of the middle, just has to hit an easy lead up to Nick Larker, who provided that lead. Tortures it over the back, and they end up with it behind.
Back into play by Short, I think it was. Comes to Dow. He's tackled and dispossessed by Thomas. Thomas got him with a ripping tackle. Half forward, just upended him and twisted him mid-air.
Play on. Good start, Thomas.
So Thomas uses that man on the mark rule to great effect, and this time he's more intrusive.
Big lark.
Forgot about the word, but having a look inside.
What were you going with there?
I was looking for a word, and you know how I couldn't find one.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
This wasn't there, but Larky's marked it out 20 in front, and Thomas absolutely nailed what the boys have been talking about on that occasion.
Yeah, a lot better.
Just a dangerous kick to a dangerous spot.
Yep.
Saw the little lead, saw the pocket of space, and instead of booting it over the top, just pulled it nicely, allowed Larky to have a run and jump.
Above the AFL average with the conversion of the set shot is this man. Larky, 73% converter, and kicks the goal. Got his second here for the Kangaroos. They hit the front, 3-4-22 to the Tigers, 3-2-20 on the Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Yeah, it's important when you're kicking inside 50 not to put it on your teammate's head. Now, that first one went over the back, we know, but you don't want it on your head either. That clever kick there from Thomas, who was the same player that kicked it inside 50 before. That one he just put out in space, as you said, Days. Just gave him an opportunity to just push off his defender, create a bit of space, and then run and jump onto it. And as you said, Brian, very nice finisher on goal. So that's the man you want with the ball in his hand inside 50. Just gave the thumbs up too to Taron Thomas. Said, that's better, mate. That's where I want it.
Days, I know this won't happen, but there's a strong argument that Nick Larky should be on the bench in the All-Australian team.
Well,
you kick that many goals in the worst team in the comp.
Third or fourth on the Coleman list, absolutely, with limited opportunity, or the opportunity that it does present coming in hacked with about 4 blokes dragging off you. You could mount a decent case, but it won't be happening.
Oh, I'm all for it, Jim.
On the bench.
I'm with you.
On the bench. One of the bench players.
Curnow, Walker, and then on the bench, Larky. I like it.
I'm with you. Curtis at the back. Tries to trap it, slaps it forward. Here is Larky again. Flicks it back to Curtis. And then just high floating ball forward. Easy one for the defence, although the spoil wasn't great. And it allows Greenwood to get boot to ball, but misses. Are behind 3-5 to 3-2. North by 3 points.
Poor old Days just giving JB a dose of reality then, and then getting clipped by Byrne.
No, I said that's not going to happen. 15, so the argument is
I like it in.
So out of full-back they come, Short with a little sidewinder. The boy from Pinjarra, McIntosh.
58 goals.
Almost 50, back to McIntosh.
Should have been.
Tell me which one of the boys above him you're going to leave out. Here's Rewalt. Mackay's there as well, picked up by Rewalt, goes through the Pigeons, got the handball here to Pickett. Pickett, little 40-metre deliberate ball into Graham, was it? Yes, it was, and it was a nice mark. 20 metres out on a fairly acute angle, though.
Back 1 metre.
He'll snap around, you'd think, on his left foot here, Graham, but going back at the moment.
I think he's a check side operator.
Is he?
He'll either go drop punt or check side. I don't think he's got the left foot
So, Brian,
in the repertoire.
I've got Curnow and Walker as starting key forward, so I'll get back to you in a sec.
Thank you very much. In he comes and misses across the face on a minor score, so 21 plays 23. You've had the opportunity to look at the others. I haven't, but go on.
The opportunity, if you did it purely on forwards, Bernard, it happened. But as we know with the All-Australian, you get 2 bigs, you'll get 2 tall defenders, and the rest will be stacked with midfielders.
I've just got the top 4 goal kickers here, Brian. Yep. So Toby Green's in, obviously, as well. But he's a smaller forward. I think he's the 3rd tall.
Taranto.
There you go, Brian.
Around the corner, sorry, JB. It was your go. I pushed in. Here's Sheasel. Sheasel gathered, gave a little handball off there to Powell. Hasn't been the best synchronisation here today. Here's Taron Thomas. Tried to sneak one out wide and found an opportunity with Howe.
Howe's handball wasn't great, but it ended up being Curtis Taylor's ball, and he got it to Bailey Scott, to Sheasel, true centre-half back. And then that ball goes wider for Aidan Corr, has a bounce, runs to the wing, and then drives it wide to the outer side. Not a great ball for Perez, and it's out. So the argument, Bristol, is that the 2 first and second are in the All-Australian starting team. The argument is that one of the 4 bench players should be a bloke that's kicked that many goals in a really poor team.
Yeah, but the argument also is you just have the next best players that miss out on the... Why can't you have two or three midfielders in that?
No, you can.
One
and they
forward,
will.
one defender. You know, it just depends which way they go on the bench.
And that is 100%
You got to pick it,
and because they're not playing anybody, how do you know what you want?
but you got to pick it as if you're playing someone, don't you?
But they
right?
don't. That's not how it's done.
I think they should.
I think they should as well. And this will be the first year we see two genuine wingers put in the wing spots.
Yeah, I like it.
Which
like that.
is something. But also the half-forward role, where so often there'll be a mid pushed out, but this year you'll have Petrarca and Green, which is everyone happy with that. But then the half-back spot becomes interesting because it'll be more midfielders.
All right, let's get up to the Gold Coast, please, Ash.
Another goal to the Suns, 4-2-26, leading the Blues by 24-2 behinds, 18 into the first.
I know, there's some interest.
Did you tell me last week there was a 1% chance the Blues could not make finals, Ash? With results going against them, they had to lose 2.
Oh, no, don't know.
I vaguely remember. I think they did. They could drop as low as 7th come completion this round, Daisy.
So they could still miss.
Dow gets the handball off to Graham. Graham's going to go sideways. McIntosh. Ball bounces out in front of him on the wing. He's got Shea Bolton ahead of him. Goes there, but it's not a great ball. And it's a drop mark in front of him by Perez.
Great chase.
Great chase from Turner out in the full. It's going to result in a North Melbourne ball.
Great chase. You've got to want to tackle in that. You want to chase, tackle. Well done, Kane Turner. That's what he's in the team for.
North by 2 points here early in the second quarter. Sheasel. Last line of defence. Plays onto the south side of the ground here. North kicking to the punt road end here in the second quarter. Good kick and good mark taken out there. Solid by Ford. Ford at half back. Just going back behind the man on the mark to take the kick. No run here. Goes inside with a risky ball to Scott and Martin, and Pickett didn't read it. That's why it came off. Short kick now finds Phillips. Phillips on the genuine southern stand wing here. Kicks in short and finds an opportunity. That'll be a free kick going the way of Tucker. And Tucker now at half forward. Looks sideways, nothing there. Sheasel, if he wants him, wants to take some meterage forward by the looks. Tucker on the left boot, goes inside 50, not his best kick. Gee, Curtis Taylor could have almost marked that. He didn't compete for it. Thomas, little handball to Greenwood. Greenwood to Curtis. Curtis got a handball backwards. Curtis Taylor now. Right foot snap, got it. So North conjures something up out of that. 4-5-29, 3-3-21 the Tigers. Curtis Taylor's first goal.
Well, he ended up with the ball in hand, but as we look on the Harvey Norman replay, just did not commit to that first ball coming in. He could have taken an uncontested chest mark if he had have made his intentions clear. Ball on the ground, scrapping away, just showing up in numbers in North Melbourne when it did hit the deck there, and eventually they worked their way through it. Chose the right option, a chain of handballs. You're right, Bern. If you are North, you'd be happy. The critical contest, the contested footy, they're certainly doing enough to be right in this game, and in fact, not even that at the minute in front.
And Harry Sheasel, leading ball winner for North with 11 disposals. 11 out of 21 games this year. He's racked up 30-plus touches in a game.
3-3-21 to 4-5-29. JC Clark.
JB, the Tigers look flat down here at ground level. They were poor last week against St Kilda, and considering the occasion, just looking across them, and you called this very early. The Tiger faithful, very quiet, subdued down here.
We're seeing pictures of the box. They look flat, JZ.
Certainly right, BT.
And I want a score from the Gold Coast, please.
Good tackle.
Another major to the Suns, JB. They're 5-2-32, leading the Blues by 30 points, 2 behinds, 21 into the first quarter.
That's a long way back.
Come out this way.
And 5 goals back.
Ivan tried to absolutely mow Phillips down, was tackled and got away with it somehow. And now he just pushes Goldie out.
North Melbourne.
Not his best moments there, Big Ivan. So Goldie's going to have a free kick out of the middle, gives it to Bailey Scott. He goes long inside 50. It's going to end up very nicely marked by Flostone for the Tigers.
Flostone right in front of the Still Chainsaw sign there. That's the mark in the back pocket for the Tigers.
Got any of them, Bristol?
Got a couple of those.
Right.
Get the new unlettered job. Don't have to worry about the two-stroke anymore, JB. Easy to start, and it cuts like a knife with butter. Here's an opportunity.
Hot knife through butter?
Yes, well, any knife through butter really burn.
A petrol-operated motive knife through butter burn.
Here is
trick knife.
Having a little bit of trouble with my descriptive words today.
But you'd be
8-point
fatigued
lead.
after your podcast during the week, bro.
Turner. Just a little one. The line for Brian. Here's Simpkin. Simpkin goes over the top. Here, lucky was interfered with. Will get the throw.
Tarrant will pick it up.
Oh, no.
And he does. He plays off. Tarrant Thomas, the barbecue operator from way back.
Come on, Tarrant.
Has been sizzling prawns all day today. No doubt about it. And it is an 8-point lead here with North Melbourne on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Another medium rare, just cooking to his liking there. That's just cost Nick Lucky a spot on the interchange, Brian.
Yeah.
We need to get him in the mid-60s. Oh, yeah, definite free kick. Bolt
Look how Tarrant Thomas goes, hang on.
Sniffs to kill there. But, yep, okay.
The ball just rolled into the middle
umpire.
of the goal square and he wandered after it, then realised that no one was chasing. So Tarrant said, well, is this okay? And the umpire said, you better believe it.
Can't believe he didn't pick up on that earlier. He just sort of waltzed over to it. The umpire didn't even turn around until about a minute later and said, okay, yeah,
I probably shouldn't be saying that's a barbecuing because I would have done the same thing 100 times out of 100.
I actually picked up on it earlier than him.
North Melbourne by 14 points. They've kicked the first 3 goals of this second term. Cochin out of the middle. Might have copped a high one, I reckon, from Phillips. He did. And we'll get a free.
Number 1 ranked player on the ground, Tarrant Thomas at the moment.
Stand.
Short runs for Cochin, but he's going to kick it himself. Goes to half forward with a long one. Soldo! Just couldn't hang on. Made good position. And the flicking handball ends up with Howe. Howe's got nowhere to go. He actually kicked it into the path of Dusty, who was minding his own business in the pocket, and it's going to end up a shot on goal. Daniel Howe, I've got no clue what he was doing.
I'm trying to get him out of trouble here and say he hit the wrong side of the ball, but he actually tried to do that. He snapped it inside 50 to the path of Dusty Martin. Just clear the ball out, get it near the boundary, and kick it forward maybe.
There's some behaviour that's unthinkable, and that's one of them. Just hack it out of there and live to fight another day, but don't kick it into the path of the most talented bloke on the ground.
How did he do that?
And now we have Prestia to make North Melbourne pay, and he does. That's through. So horrible mistake, Howe. Goal, Richmond. And we are back to a 8-point lead for the Kangaroos, 5-5 to 4-3. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
And this is where the great frustration lies if you are a Kangaroos fan, and I'm sure if you're in the coach's box as well. Do so much right. Tackle numbers this quarter, Ash?
Kangas 7. Richmond get to register a tackle.
So the intent and the effort is certainly there. It's just the polish and the decision-making. That one, certainly. And that's an experienced player, though. There's no excuse why you would kick a banana backwards inside your D50 to a pocket where there's only...
With the best player of all time, almost.
Correct. That absolutely kills you.
So Dion Prestia with the goal. First for the second quarter for the Tigers, coming at the 12-minute mark. And they are back within 8 points. Back to the middle we go with the best bouncer in the business, Matty Nichols. High ball, Sherry knocks it down here in the path of Simpkin. He was tackled, got the handball away, picked up by Soldo, gave it a Bolton, goes inside 50. High ball down there. Who can get a hold of this for the Tigers? Big spoil by Core. Through for a behind. 28. Plays 35 in favour of the Kangas. Let's go around the grounds, Ash.
Suns by 31 points over Carlton. 5-3-33. Blues 2 behinds. 3 to go before quarter time.
Luke McDonald. Long and wide forward. It doesn't quite get to him. And now the Tigers are going to bounce it back inside 50. Here comes Big Nank. And he's 45 from home. They'll get a shot on goal here.
Just back to me here. Thank you.
City end, he's in the left half forward flank, if that makes sense, edging towards the left forward pocket. To the right of your radio dial.
Come out 2 more metres with me.
And the big boy
Liam
can make it 2 goals in a minute. Nankervis.
Play on.
Walks to the line, the left foot, laconic drop. He loves it. It's there. Just 1 point separate the Tigers and the Roos.
Good job.
Kangaroos up on the Beacon Trade scoreboard.
A couple of goals now from Ruckman, Richmond, Sherry. He's just got to tighten up. He's just got to keep following his opponent when they go inside forward 50 again. Then dropped back. Change has been made. Nankervis has gone forward. Soldo back into the ruck now, but Sherry just goes to sleep a little bit inside forward 50. He's just got to, instead of dropping back to the square, got to take his opponent or get someone to roll up onto his resting ruckman and then go back. But again, just allowed the lead up.
Around the grounds, Ash, Choice Hotels.
Suns by 32 points over the Blues, just under 2 minutes remaining before quarter time.
It's a real turn up, that, Ash.
Certainly is, BT.
Well, they got GWS in the last game, the Blues.
They do. Marvel Stadium.
Can't believe Carlton can still miss.
Unbelievable. Here's Martin out the back door. He's tackled immediately by Thomas, carefully lowered to the ground.
Tristan,
we'll have the ball up as a result.
Come down this way.
Players have got the drift of that tackling routine, no doubt about it.
That was good, that one, wasn't it?
Yep. There's an opportunity for Howe, who tries to use his head to clear a pathway. And we'll have another ball up. Still inside the centre square, but slightly favouring the punt road end to which the Roos are kicking in this second term. Sherry fell over. Soldo was able to hammer the ball towards centre arm forward. Cochin's trying to beat three. Bolton dances through traffic. Then I think he thought it was the umpire coming at him. Didn't realise he was going to be tackled by a player. Graham went and got it. Cochin charging after it, couldn't get it. Oh, head over the ball, MacDonald. Won a real good footy. Got it to Curtis Taylor, and his kick is out of bounds on the full.
Well done to Lukey Mack. He came through. There was 4 Tigs that were out. He picked it up cleanly, put his head in the hole.
Martin kicks a torp. A standing barrel. Rewarded. Soldo marks it. And it deserved to be rewarded. Anyone who kicks a standing barrel.
He's running past here, Martin.
And give it to him.
No, he would have got defended.
He
wanted it still, though. Again, Sherry, I just mentioned him. Again, in the contest. Just going back, just allowed Soldo a free run at it. There's almost no defensive pressure whatsoever on him. Got to get better. This is going to be potentially the third goal he's given up just by lack of concentration.
Move it on.
So big Ivan is going to take a shot. Very deliberate, taking a long time. Little stutter step, and then the kick is straight. And it's through. 3 in a row, Tigers. And they have hit the lead by 5 points, 6-4 to 5-5. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Goldstein on for mine. Sherry needs a little spell. Have a think about it. It's 3 goals, as I said, he's given up purely from just lack of concentration now. Ruckman are having a little fill-up here today, Days.
Yeah, they certainly are. You'd love the runner just to go out and go, right, just follow the biggest bloke on the ground. You know pretty close or pretty accurately straight away when you look up where your direct opponent is. So if you are going inside D50 and he's going, you go with him until you get someone to stand next to you, then go to the line.
Around the grounds, Ash, they've got their first goal, the Blues, I think, have they?
Yeah, they have, thanks to Cottrell. Blues 1-2-8, trailing the Suns by 27 points, 5-5-35.
Very nice. That coming with just about 20 seconds left in that first quarter up there on the Gold Coast. Blues kicking their first. Back here at the MCG. It is a 5-point lead here with the Tigers. In the middle we go. Taron Thomas got the clearance, got the little handball out to Sherry. Sherry gives it backwards, and now North go through centre half forward. Good mark taken in front by Ford. Now Ford's at the 47-metre mark. That's where the man on the mark will stand in Daniel Rioli.
Has he got this Eddie Bristle, do you think?
I don't know.
Good name, Eddie Ford.
Yeah, he's got a bit about him too.
Sounds like an actor.
A bit of swagger.
He and Curtis have got a bit of oomph about them, haven't they? There's something about them. Bit of excitement, bit of energy, bit of bounce. Marks it well, Ford. Set shots this year. He's kicked 7 goals, 1, so he's proficient at that part of the game. This one will test him. A little bit of distance involved with the accuracy. From right on the 50. Got the journey. Offline, right-hand side. 36, the Kangas. 40, the Tigers on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
David Swallow just kicking a goal on the quarter-time break up there, Ash.
Yeah, certainly did. So Suns 6-5-41, leading the Blues by 33 points, 1-2-8 quarter time.
Flostone, a long one. Fisted away by Bailey Scott. Here's Howe.
That's better.
And he goes to half forward. Not really much to kick to. Good mark taken by Baker.
Stay out.
And that's a fitting.
Send him up. Get him next to the area.
Curtis just not aware of what's going on around him, and he's handed territory to the Tigers.
Mark is just here.
Baker will now stick this inside 50.
Me.
Wobbles it into the pocket. Ross from the back tried to get a fist to it, and Scott was pretty happy to take it out.
I thought the bald umpire was getting a lot of play, Brian. Didn't realise there's 2
Tristan,
exact
Toby.
lookalikes.
Yeah.
The bald boys.
Hairless umps.
Matty Nichols, and who's the other one?
No, yeah, Matty Nichols. I think the other one is Paul Ribashini.
Yes.
I think.
Right. Ball in. 50 out from the Tigers' goal.
Could be Roger Martin or Martin Roger.
Shea Bolton from the pocket.
No.
What about that? That's ridiculous. Magnificent goal. 4 in a row now, Tigers. 7-4-46 to 5-6-36. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Yeah, the finish is unbelievable, but again, on the back of an error from North Melbourne. 50-metre penalty when there was no need for it. Ball goes up the other end, you lose the territory battle. That is absolute class. Running to the pocket. Drop punt across the body.
Great hit, Nankervis. See the Harvey Norman.
Oh, yeah,
hit it to the outside. The outside call just hit, and the ball bounced up perfectly, didn't it, at the right time? Cherry in the ruck. I don't want to mention it again. I'll leave him alone.
Jay-Z, Bob Jane.
Andrew McQualter made a structural change in this second quarter. Noah Bolter started the game in defence, been playing forward in this second term.
I'll tell you what the structural change is, Jay-Z. Goldie came off the ground with North Melbourne 15 points up, and 4 goals have been kicked in his absence.
Boy, Jim just jumping in there. Back in the middle go. Look at the domination by Soto out of the middle to Cotton. Colton rams it inside 50. Dustin Martin's man hit the deck. Done his hamstring, I reckon, McDonald. It spills now. Martin gathers it. That was his direct opponent. Right foot snap at goal. They got 5 in a row. McDonald's done his hamstring. Dusty's kicked the goal. And the Tigers are on a surge. McDonald's gone. 52 plays 36. Tigers blistering. Martin's got 2.
Wow, they've turned the notch up here, haven't they? The Richmond Tigers, 5 in a row. Geez, that looks a bad one, doesn't it? McDonald limping off the ground. Can hardly move on that left hamstring. You see on the Harvey Norman, geez, it really kicked up in the air, his leg. That's a big loss too for North Melbourne. He's such a warrior down back there for North Melbourne. Goes when he has to go, puts his head over the footy, wins so much of intercept possessions. He's going to be a big loss.
Jay-Z.
Yeah, the sub being made. Blake Drury, like-for-like replacement. He was the top pick in the rookie draft. Very clever ball user off half-back, a bit like Caleb Daniel. Going to come straight on for Lukey McDonald.
So it's 52 to 36. 5 in a row kicked by the Tigers as McDonald goes down the race. That's the last we'll see of him in 2023.
Bye on.
Cochin out of the middle. He tried to find a teammate by hand, was unable to do that. Legs taken out from under Goldie.
North Melbourne. Play on.
And now the handball off to Sheasel. Howe runs himself into all sorts of trouble. Just lost the handle on this game completely here, the Kangaroos. Good tackle laid by Thomas. And a ball up centre of the ground.
They've had the last 6 inside 50s, have the Tigs for 5 goals, 1. So no pressure, smacking them on the scoreboard.
Amazing footy from the Tigers.
Great tap.
Has Cochin got the benefit of that great tap in the end, and now Baker on the end of all of that good work. Bolter leading up, takes the mark between wing and half forward. Bolter plays on now as the man on the mark, just drops back in Zeeble. High footy, Bolton's there at the back, couldn't get it. Comes off hands, Graham shot the little handball out, comes back to Bolton, right foot around the corner, over the shoulder, Martin's in the goal square, almost a one-hander, off hands, Rewald, dribbles it through. Jack Rewald kicks the goal. 6 in a row for the Tigers. Still 7 minutes and a half remaining. Rewald in his last game. 58 plays 36.
They are all at sea at the moment, North Melbourne. They just need to get their hands on the footy. I can't remember the last chain where they just went kick, mark, kick, mark. They just need to get their hands on the footy, retain the footy, take some sting out of this game at the moment. Richmond tails are up and about. The crowd's starting to get into it. 6 goals in a row there. Good players are starting to get involved. Dusty Martin involved there again in that contest in the square. Just kept the ball alive. Obviously, Rewalt finishes off, but Bolton again. What's Bolton had for this quarter, Ash? Because he's on fire for the game.
Yeah, 5 disposals, but for the game, 12 disposals, 2 majors. In terms of ranking points, second-ranked player on the ground.
It's all starting in the middle here, though. Yep. His hits from the Richmond rucks have been absolutely outstanding.
Thomas tried to get through on the fly. Prestia managed to flick it back to Hopper. Hopper thumps it inside. 50! And mark taken by Noah Bolter, who's gone forward. So this will be their coughs it up. Not sure why. Just go back and kick the sausage. Ball delivered outside 50. It's going to be thumped back in, though. Tigers all over North Melbourne. Goals to Goda. Goda a thumping handball to Kane Turner. Turner didn't even look, just tumbled it to half forward, but it's a nest of Tigers everywhere. They've got a retreat now to Taron Thomas. Well done. Good ball. Found Tucker at centre half forward. Probably right on his range.
Finally relax, take a breath here, North Melbourne. Give it to Larky.
They're going to do exactly that. Here is Larky, hands to it. Top of the square.
Inside the square.
And he has taken a good mark. Big Suv. Go back and kick his third.
Straight in front.
Thanks, Hugh.
Jeez, do they need this, North Melbourne? If I'm Nick Larky, game sense, I'm taking my full 30 here just to take some... Oh, he's not. He's going straight.
There he is. For number 3, directly in front. Got it. 6-6, 42 to 9, 4:58. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Blood rule, North Melbourne.
And we've got a blood rule for the Kangaroos.
Well, there's your hold up. There you go. Hold up. I would have gone back. Senior player at North Melbourne. I would have gone back and just taken my time there. Full 30. Got the warning to start or commence my run up before I kick that one. Always going to kick it. But they just need to find some footy at the moment.
What was Bolter doing at the other end, though? He's got a touch of the frost balls about him. We had this discussion last Sunday.
Did call that. I did hear that, and I agree.
A little rush of blood and a little adventure up forward, and
takes off in any direction at stages. That one there, Soldo was sort of out, but
30 metres out directly in front.
Bob Jane T. Marks, Jay-Z.
Kane Turner of North Melbourne just with the doctors at the moment, expected to go down the race. Blood streaming from just above his ear. He's got a cut head.
Back to the middle we go. Nan Curvis and Goldstein in there. And we'll have another ball up, and McDonald walks straight past you, Jay-Z, straight down the tunnel.
Thanks,
Yep, he certainly did.
Thanks, Jay-Z.
Back to you, Brian.
No, he's done.
Okay, little one. Just
Q in the rack.
1.25 for Jay-Z these days. Little handball backwards here to short. Goes forward, good-looking ball. Dusty holding his man away from the foot. He did really well and coughed it up and got the little handball out the side door here. Long ball in for the Tigers. Maybe a free kick to Richmond. Soldo play on. Bolton scores. Goal kick by Bolton. He has got his third. Tigers back out to a 22-point lead here. The 27-minute mark of the second quarter of the Beacon Trade scoreboard.
There's a decent conversation going down. We haven't listened to it. No, we can't. Jack Zeeble having a chat with the umpire saying that Soldo was doing the holding of he. We have a look at it here on the Harvey Norman replay. You just tackled him, Jack.
You threw him to ground without the footy.
That was a free kick every day of the week. You've had 280 goes at this game, Jack. That was a free kick in every one of them.
Yeah. Geez, they look dangerous going inside 50 now, Richmond. Every time they go in, they don't just look like scoring, they score. And it's goals at the moment. Geez, they look dangerous, Ash.
Yeah, this quarter, 12 entries for the Tigers, but they've kicked 7 goals too.
Jeez.
7 of the last 8 of this game, Richmond have scored. They lead by 22 points. We are now back in the middle. Goldstein down, but straight to Hopper, and now Taranto. Might have just struck the wrong side of the ball. Certainly didn't get any purchase on it. Doesn't matter. Bolton's having a huge impact on this game.
Stay up.
Here's 60 from home.
Out, Joy. Move it on. Play on.
Goes short, finds Ross outside 50.
Stand.
If you look at the space on his right.
Now they want to give it to Revolt, but he was manned up, so they go further afield, and Nan Curvis gets on the end of it in the pocket.
Well, they're getting absolutely smacked out of the middle. North Melbourne. You can't have a player like Taron Thomas just running routes. He's taken off the last 3, gone through at pace. You just go back one-on-one. He's going to go around the corner.
Oh, big Nank. The ruckman biting off some skill here.
Jaden Short and
Simpkin. It doesn't work.
In a box off. Short and Simpkin were niggling each other.
It is.
And now it's just a sparking up of full-on fury.
Clear out, boys.
Just back to that point. You don't need a midfielder flying through. It looks good when it comes off, the 1 out of 20. but your ruckman isn't dominating. Just set up defensively, put some work in, try and get the ball up your end.
Perez to Scott, Scott to Greenwood. Greenwood juggles the mark on centre wing, right in front of the warm stand. Handballs backwards. Now they go forward once again. Forward inside 50. High ball should have marked it. Drury looked a little awkward with the one hand up, and now the ball is spilt to ground and we'll have a ball up.
Yeah, Richmond killing it in the centre bounce this quarter. Just quarter 2 alone, score some stoppages. 4-2 to 3 points, North Melbourne.
3.5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Taranto for the stoppage. Graham was there and the umpire cursing himself as McIntosh now. Neat little ball out wide, finds Prestia on half-back.
Is that for the poor bounce or did he get hit, Brian?
I think he got a bit of a hit, didn't he?
Prestia, long one in pursuit of Soldo. Back comes Sheasel. Controlled that ball pretty well, but then lost the handle. Got it back. Core, back to Sheasel. And Sheasel's taken hard in a tackle. It's going to be a ball up. No. Eventually spits out to Powell.
Not 15, play on.
And Phillips. Powell thought about Phillips and then went back to Zeeble. And he goes all the way back to Sheasel, who goes back to Zeeble.
That can't be 15 either.
I don't reckon any of them were. Now Powell inside 50. Has got some room to move. Goes back to kick it over the line.
That 5 kicks and have gone nowhere.
No, absolutely nowhere. No. And that's not a great ball either. Got to Sheasel on the bounce.
7 now.
And he goes to Core. And Core a short one and finds Eddie Ford.
Another goal to Gold Coast, Ash.
It is to Lukosius. So the Suns 7-6-48. Leading the Blues by 40 points, 1 goal, 2-8 early into the second.
On the Grounds Choice Hotels there. 23-point leaders here at the moment, the Tigers. Zeeble puts it in front of Scott, who has to clear the pigeons out. Goes wide and finds Curtis Taylor. Curtis Taylor 75 metres from the North Melbourne punt road goal. Greenwood in there waving both arms. Wants it in long and deep. Curtis Taylor goes in that direction. In front was Larkey. Double grabber, got it. Larkey's mark within 25 metres on a 45-degree angle.
From the naked eye, that looked the mark to me. I know Richmond fans aren't happy with it. We'll have to have another look on the Harvey Norman.
He'll line up for his 4th goal.
Looked the mark to me, Days.
We're going to look at it here. Burn.
Out to the 10.
Bob Jane team marks.
Everyone back. 3 metres.
And he's threw one hand up. That was the first touch, and then he took it on the second grab. Don't know what they're complaining about.
Harvey Norman replay there is Larkey comes in for goal number 4 from 25 metres. Oh, he hardly kicked it. He kicked it right. He's got a pokey, funny little, stiffy little thing.
Horrible.
And it was no good.
Look at Clarkson.
6-7-43 to Richmond. 10-5-65 on the Beacon Train scoreboard.
Normally something he does extraordinarily well. Nick Larkey, that was a horrible set shot. Short one here to Nick Floston.
Play on.
He'll thump it down the outer wing. Core in best shape to mark this and does. Simple mark in the end. Gives it to Darcy Tucker. Long ball inside 50. Taron Thomas.
Oh, well done.
Very nicely taken mark over Floston.
It was the initial contact that created the separation there with Taron Thomas. Jeez, he's having a day out. Taron Thomas been involved in everything for North Melbourne. He's been a little bit quiet the last 6 or 7 minutes, but just that initial hit created the separation, took it nicely.
Almost on the boundary line. Dom Sheed pocket. So this will take some kicking on the left. And that's not going to come back anywhere near enough. Not sure what Curtis Taylor was thinking. He was out of bounds on the full anyway.
Was indeed. So we've got 30 seconds here. Ashley around the Grounds Choice Hotels. What's the other game doing?
Goal to the Blues. So the margin, though, 34 points in favour of the Suns. 13:50 to go before half-time.
Holding their lead there at the moment, the Gold Coast Suns on the highly fancied Blues. How many have they won in a row, the Blues, Ash?
8 in a row.
So a ball up here, half forward for the Kangas.
And can still miss, Brian.
Wow. 10-5-65 the Tigers. North 6-7-43. Little knockdown comes here to Powell. Got the ball to Sheasel. Unloaded it quickly out the back door to Curtis Taylor. Muscled it out wide. Phillips couldn't do much with it. He's under pressure here. Curtis was there. Goldstein, siren sound. First half's done. Looked like the Kangas were getting away with the opening 3 goals of the second. And then the Tigers went bang, 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 bang. It was unbelievable. And they lead 10-5-65 to North 6-7-43. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks halftime football.
The 40s on Triple M.
That quarter for Beacon Trade. Beacon Trade's here to partner with your business with lighting and electrical products for every Aussie home. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
For Ream Hot Water.
Triple M rocks footy.
Built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Straight after this game, join the Temper Mattress call team for GWS and Essendon.
Giants continue to press. Oh, the Bombers look up for this one.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Choose between 100% Aussie beef or crispy chicken. Then add a golden cheesy patty and tomato chili jam. The cheesy chicken and cheesy beef are back at Macca's because everything's better with cheese. Available after 10:30am for a limited time.
Up to 25% off Acer computers. Now at Harvey Norman. Acer Aspire 3 laptop. Now just $388, save $110. Boost your productivity with the Acer Aspire 5. Now only $698, save $200. Save $300 on Acer Aspire 3 with 16GB RAM and 1TB storage. Now $998. And save $400 on Acer Swift Go with stunning OLED screen. Now $1098. More hot deals at Harvey Norman now.
One of the world's biggest shows, Billions, returns for an epic final season only on Stan.
This is what you've been waiting for.
Axe is back.
Tough to be a billionaire these days. Let's get to it.
And he saved his biggest play for one last showdown.
This is it. You can't escape your enemies.
It's all been leading up to this as the stakes grow from Wall Street to the world.
We're going to tell you what we're going to do, and then we're going to do it.
The final season of Billions, now streaming only on Stan.
The Lowdown. Around town.
The National 4x4 Outdoor Show is your one-stop shop for everything off-road, camping, caravanning and outdoor adventure. This weekend at the Melbourne Showgrounds. Visit 4x4show.com.au.
The Lowdown.
Don't wait for the weekend. Make tonight a not-so-casual weeknight at Crown. There's no better place for a midweek catch-up or knock-off drinks. Crown practices the responsible service of alcohol. Drink responsibly.
The Lowdown. Around town.
I'm a chippy, which means I'm a craftsman. I'm a worker in nearly all weather. I'm a mentor, and I'm a small business owner. But most of all, I'm a dad. Luckily, I'm insured by a mate. IMAR of the tradies, mate. So get a quote today, online, or call 13IMAR. They're the tradies, mate.
Let's IMAR!
Rummaging through your pockets again to find that one receipt you desperately need? You promised yourself you'd take a photo of it, but you probably threw it in the bin without realising. Don't worry, Chemist Warehouse now offers Slip Smart receipts. Simply provide your mobile number at checkout to receive a Slip Smart receipt via SMS sent directly to your phone within seconds. Take the stress out of returns and tax time with an unlosable digital receipt. Ask for a Slip Smart receipt today. Chemist Warehouse, great savings every day.
The Haval H6 is a smart SUV, mainly because of its smart tech, safety and design, but also because of the driver, someone clever enough to demand more and get it. Haval H6. Smart move.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Straight after this game, join the Temper Mattress call team for GWS and Essendon.
Giants continue to press. Oh, the Bombers look up for this one.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up! The footy's on the radio!
Triple M rocks footy.
This halftime break for Mitre 10 Trade. A Mitre 10 gift card is the perfect gift this Father's Day.
Yes, it certainly is. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. We are at the mighty MCG, where it is the Tigers currently leading North Melbourne by 22 points. It's Andrew McQualter's men, 10 goals, 5-65, leading North Melbourne 6-7-43 under grey skies here at the MCG. It's Jay Clark and the former Collingwood and Carlton superstar Dale Thomas with you to dissect this first half. And fair to say, Daisy, it's a little bit of a flat start. The first quarter a little bit flat, but the Tigers kicked into gear in that second term. And for mine, it was Shea Bolton and Dustin Martin with 15 and 17 possessions each, who really ignited the Tigers, in particular in that centre square.
Yeah, when it was a really scrappy game, it is often the case that the class comes to the top, and that's what separates it and what needs to stand up to kickstart the game, and that was certainly the case in that second quarter. The midfield dominance from the Tigers, though, North Melbourne, they'll have to sort that area of the ground out. The ruckman dominating North Melbourne mids, although their ruckman was losing, were still trying to get really proactive and hit the ball at pace. Taron Thomas a couple of times. You had Phillips and Powell in there as well. When you've got bigger-bodied opponents like that and they're clearly on top, you just have to go and accept being dictated to, play back shoulder and just try and scrap, get the ball forward if you can, but you can't lean and allow those clean exits going inside forward 50, which they did. At one point there, they'd had 7 inside 50s, the Tigers, and scored 6 goals, 1. 100% of the time they're scoring when going inside forward 50. You just cannot give that up. You need to put some resistance on the ball, get it in high, get it in scrappy, rather than the way that it was going in with the shoulders out. And Martin down there, the ruckman going forward, the rest in ruckman having a real impact in this one, going down there and playing on an Aiden Core, who's undersized. You got Mackay down there doing a pretty good job so far on Jack Rewalt. But there was the resting ruckman that did most of the damage.
100% they did, Daisy. Ivan Soldo with 2 goals. Toby Nankervis with 1 goal for the Tigers. And Shea Bolton, the magic man, with 3 goals. It's Nick Larkey again. You spoke about him often throughout that second term. Kicked 3 goals for the North Melbourne side, doing a great job for the second worst team in the competition this season. But also Taron Thomas has caught the eye, hasn't he? Kicked a pair of goals, 2 goals, 2 in fact, had 15 disposals, burnt a couple of his teammates in the first term, but what he has shown is that he's got an enormous amount of talent. Arguably, he's North Melbourne's most talented player.
Yeah, well, there's never been a question about his talent or his skill level. It's probably been decision-making and work ethic that has come into the question when you're talking about the on-field stuff. Luke Davies-Uniacke would certainly be, I think, North's most talented prospect going forward. But if you can have someone like a Thomas having the impact on the game that he has, but then teach that sort of team-first mentality that a Dusty Martin's developed as he's gotten into his career a bit more, trying to find the best option, enjoy the success of you delivering a ball to a forward rather than just having to kick the goals yourself. And that can be a learnt skill, obviously, when you come into a system, and he's been here for a while now, has Taron Thomas, but 67 games in, you can still have bad habits from juniors when you are a better player, and no doubt he gets centre forward and he has the idea of just lighting it up every time he gets it, and no doubt probably a little bit of that is his mindset, knowing that he has the skill set to do that.
Tigers up by 22 points over North Melbourne, 65-43 here at the MCG. This is the halftime break for Mitre 10 Trade. A Mitre 10 gift card is the perfect gift this Father's Day. Really, it is about 3 men. That is the big story. Jack Rewalt, Trent Cotchin, and of course Jack Zeeble. All their final games for their respective clubs today, and probably all 3. I mean, Zeeble's been prominent for North Melbourne, but the 2 Tigers greats have been a little bit subdued. Jack would love to have had his hands on the footy more. He scrambled a goal in the goal mouth with some effort there from Dustin Martin. Koch has come in and out of the game. He had a shot had an opportunity from 40 metres out and selflessly passed it off, which has been the hallmark basically of the second half of his career. But I wouldn't mind seeing a few more balls going Jack Rewalt's direction in the second half.
Yeah, well, if you're a Tigers fan, you want this margin to blow out pretty quickly so that in that last quarter there, the game's certainly locked away, won and done, and then you can start a bit of the smart-ass stuff and try and find the ball directly to Jack Rewalt on every occasion, a couple of wraparound handballs, which we all want to see and probably deserves to happen too. But, you know, when you have 3 greats going out, and Zeeble, you can certainly put in that category for North Melbourne. Unbelievable career there, obviously starved of any success, and the contrast when you do look about it is how fortunate you are to get drafted to a club and where you do land by chance. But obviously Cotchin, 3-time premiership captain, Rewalt with however many leading goal kicker awards, Two-Man said before, chasing 11, chasing the great Matty Richardson. They're, hopefully they can get involved in this second half, and no doubt there's probably a few nerves for them too, Jay, starting off the game.
No doubt about that. Damien Hardwick here, Sean Grigg here, of course, so some Richmond royalty here to cheer on the 2 Tigers greats. It's the Tigers up by 22 points over North Melbourne at halftime here at the MCG. We like to keep it positive here at Triple M. There's no doubt about that. It is the best call on a Saturday with JB, BT, Bernie, Vince and Dale Thomas. But occasionally someone stuffs it up and we make to like fun of it. There's no doubt about it. It's a favourite segment. Amy Clangers. Who covers Clangers on and off the field? Amy does. Wilbur, who have we got in the crosshairs today?
Inside 50. Here's Dusty. Up against the line. He's got Baker on short. He goes back and finds Jack. And they're going to do this a lot today, try and spot up number 8.
Just a glimpse of Jack soaking up camera time there.
Yeah, and probably some screen time.
Yeah.
From about 48, he's going to take a shot. That is the worst kick you will ever see. That is an absolute mung sack.
That's hard to do.
That is impossible to do.
That's the toe, off the toe, I reckon. Incredible stuff.
He missed his foot.
It was extraordinary. Jack Riewoldt kicked a lot of goals, nearly 800 goals over his magnificent career, and that was probably the worst kick of the lot, it's fair to say, Daisy. He really butchered that one.
Undoubtedly, his worst ever set shot at goal came in a time when he had the opportunity to make it all about him, so rather unfortunate.
Even the champions get nervous at times, Daisy. It's fair to say. Hey, there's another big story going on up there to Gold Coast, around the grounds. Whatever your reason for travelling, you get the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at choicehotels.com, so go ahead, book it, Daisy. What's happening up there?
6 minutes to go in the second quarter. It's a Gold Coast Suns 7-7-49, leading Carlton 4-5-29. So the Blues have got their skates on a little bit after trailing at quarter time, but it is the Gold Coast Suns pretty comfortably in control.
Carlton played GWS in round 24. The Blues
don't even put it out there, Jay.
Don't
even
moz
put it out there.
Oh, can you imagine the amount of memberships going in the microwave if they don't make finals this time? It would be extraordinary. At the MCG, it is the Tigers up by 22 points over North Melbourne, 10-5-65 Richmond, currently leading the Kangaroos 6-7-43. We have the second half coming up. As I said, it's the best call on a Saturday with JB, BT, Dale Thomas, the Melbourne Adelaide superstar, Bernie Vince, of course. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy, it is time now for a news update with Damien Carbon.
Yeah, thanks, fellas. The Victorian government's reached a $380 million settlement after pulling the pin on the Commonwealth Games. The matter's now closed, according to Premier Dan Andrews, while State Treasury says it's ended in good faith.
Quite frankly, this is the best outcome that could possibly be achieved for the purposes of moving on and dealing with the things that regional Victoria needs and deserves.
The Prime Minister outlaying details today of his $200 million Play Our Way program, pitched towards supporting Aussie women and girls in sport. An expert panel made up of sporting legends will decide where exactly the money will go, but it will primarily be on facilities and equipment. 2 men have been charged in Queensland with multiple arson offences. They're accused of deliberately lighting fires in the Western Downs region earlier this year. That destroyed 13 homes and thousands of hectares of land. And the countdown is on for the Matildas' final waltz in the World Cup. They take on Sweden in the third-place playoff in Brisbane. Kick-off is 6 p.m. Eastern Time.
Come home to comfort this winter with Oz Design Furniture. Save big with 25% off almost everything on furniture and homewares. Sale ends Monday. Oz Design for life. T's and C's apply.
Right now, 15 degrees at the MCG. Cloudy overhead with a chance of a shower through the game and a max of 16. It's half-time between the Tigers and the Roos. Police reply quickly to texting drivers. A message from the TAC as Triple M rocks footy.
That halftime break for Mitre 10 Trade. A Mitre 10 gift card is the perfect gift this Father's Day.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Let's all gather around the radio.
When you say action, I'm your guy.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show.
Never trust a fart.
It has Marty Sheargold.
Oh, my God. Well, let me apologise in advance.
A man that isn't afraid of asking the big questions.
Hash browns. Discuss.
Yeah. Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. It's a show for grown-ups.
I mean, flick around right now and see if anyone's doing a pumpkin story. No. They won't be. They'll be talking about photos of their kids.
Kickstart your day with a laugh. Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. 6 to 9 weekdays on Triple M.
Real people, real products, real fun. No matter who you are, Sexyland has something real sexy for everyone. With Australia's biggest range of sexy costumes, lingerie, couples toys and fun gifts and games for adults. 11 stores in Melbourne and Geelong open till midnight 7 days a week. Or shop online for 2-hour delivery.
Take me now, hot cool man. Take me now, Sexyland.
Sexyland.com.au.
Go full sport with Code Sports, bringing you the latest sports news, insight and exclusive analysis from around the globe. Plus all your daily stats, live scores and video highlights. For all your sport now in the one place, visit Code Sports today.
Harvey Norman's big screen bonus deals are now. Save $700 on Samsung 65-inch S90C OLED TV, now $3,595 plus bonus $360 gift card. LG 77-inch B3 OLED Smart TV, now $6,495 plus bonus $650 gift card. Super deals. Save $3,000 on super-sized Sony Bravia 98-inch Google TV, now $9,995 plus bonus $1,000 gift card plus bonus local delivery and wall mount installation. Limited time now at Harvey Norman.
Thanks for calling Aussie Broadband. What can I help you with?
Hey, my mobile's fine. I just need some advice.
Advice? Oh, sure, shoot.
Well, I went on a date, and afterwards I texted her back saying, I'd love to see you again, and she just replied, thank you. What does that mean?
Emojis?
Nope.
Well, it's not great.
Straight up local support and enough data to find your perfect match. That's the actual Aussie way. Search Aussie Broadband to switch today.
Australia, now is the best time to enjoy Aussie fresh fruit and veg.
And right now, Coles 100% Aussie navel oranges are just $2.50 a kilo. Just $2.50.
This week at Coles.
Offer ends Tuesday.
Are you in a music slump? Need a mood booster?
No matter what type of mood you're in, Listener has the perfect music station for you.
Find your inner rock god with Hard and Heavy. Tap into the golden age with 70s hits. Or release your inner rodeo with Triple M Country. Download the Listener app now and search Mood to find your perfect music station.
Real people, real products, real fun. No matter who you are, Sexyland has something real sexy for everyone. With Australia's biggest range of sexy costumes, lingerie, couples toys and fun gifts and games for adults. 11 stores in Melbourne and Geelong open till midnight 7 days a week. Or shop online for 2-hour delivery.
Take me now, how cool man. Take me now, Sexyland.
Sexyland.com.au.
Shut up! The footy's on the radio!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Titanium Caravans. Titanium Caravans are built to tackle Australia's toughest conditions. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
Half time here at the MCG for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks football. Richmond back out on the track, waiting the arrival of the Kangaroos. In the meantime, we're watching this other game up on the Gold Coast. Ash, and give us a bit of a detailed, comprehensive look at what's going on up there at the moment.
Well, the Suns led by 40 points, BT, 6 minutes into the second quarter. Carlton have nailed the last 5 majors, so the margin only 8 points to the Gold Coast Suns. The Suns 7-7-49 to the Blues 6-5-41. Charlie Curnow has 3 majors.
And they're going forward again, and Charlie Curnow's just taken another mark. Wow. And will get them within, a couple of points?
2 points, BT.
Yep. So Charlie Curnow to kick that goal. So Carlton on the charge up there on the Gold Coast, right here, right now. Both teams out on the deck, and, we're not sure what's going to happen here, but Richmond lead it by 22 points.
Hoping for a blowout in this third quarter so there can be a fill-up for Jack in the last.
We are indeed. Don't forget Titanium Caravans. Want to go anywhere? You'll need Australia's toughest off-road caravan. Titanium Caravans, a purpose built to tackle Australia's uncompromising conditions. They have everything you need to stay off-grid, off-road. Look no further than a Titanium Caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au. All right, Ash, what are we going to after this tonight for Saturday night football on Triple M?
Some massive games, BT. Straight after this game, the Giants taking on the Bombers. It's at Giants Stadium.
So what's the... What effect can that have on the 8?
Both of those teams there are simply fighting for a spot in the 8. Both Essendon and the Giants are on 44 points, and the Bulldogs currently sitting inside the 8 on 44. So massive for both of those teams.
So the winner stays alive in that one.
Correct.
The loser's probably dead.
Yep, spot on. And then we've got Adelaide v Sydney. That's at the Adelaide Oval. So the Crows, if they win both of their games, potentially they could make the 8 because they've got a very, very good percentage.
They got West Coast last round.
They got West Coast, so they can
Sydney,
top up.
They lose this one, though, they're done.
Yep.
Kaput.
They have to win both games. And Sydney, of course, have to win both games to stay alive. And the big one tonight at Marvel Stadium, BT, St Kilda taking on Geelong. If St Kilda win, they need to win 1 out of 2, and they'll be inside the 8. Cats need to win both to keep their final 8 chances alive.
Amazing how it's panned out, hasn't it, this fixture?
Yeah, it is incredible. I just think the Saints are possibly going to lose the last 2 and drop out. Yeah. Haven't been out of the 8 all year.
No, they play Brisbane, of course, round 24 up at the Gabba.
Yeah. Did Carlton do that last year? Were they in the whole season?
Yep. They were. Last round of the year, out they go, and that's what happens.
Remember,
does it?
Remember years ago?
Lose too many.
I'm talking when you were playing days, and probably you too, but people used to argue that we shouldn't have a rolling fixture.
Yeah.
The stupidest argument I thought at the time, and now it is proven to be one of the great things.
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually like to see them tighten it up a little bit and say, instead of putting the first 15 weeks down, JB, just put the first 10 weeks down.
Agreed. No argument
and
here.
Take it 5 weeks at a time from there.
And get the best games on the big slots.
Yep.
Second half ready to go. 22-point lead here for the Tigers. Blistering second term from them. Kicked 7 of the last 8 goals of that term and have got this one at the moment by the Nurries. But we got a half to go. Bounce of the ball. Sherry parked underneath it. Worked down to Taranto, only as far as Curtis Taylor. And now North Melbourne through Simpkin, who feels to me like he's been quiet, Ash.
Jai Simpkin, just the 9 touches.
Well, he has been quiet. Gets it back to Curtis Taylor, flicks it forward. Kane Turner lowers the eyes inside 50, but the ball was rubbish and easily chopped out by Rioli.
Daniel Rioli go close to winning their best and fairest this year. Perhaps Taranto in front of him. Kick out wide to Bolton. Bolton looking to gather cleanly. He does. He's got a player in front of him. Uses that player in Young. Young long handball to Martin, who was hiding on the picket fence. Came out now. Inside 50. He's run a long way. Took a little bounce. Got the handball off to Bolton. Bolton's kick was smothered. He had a bit of Payakaroon about him, and it was smothered over the line out of bounds. We'll throw it in deep inside the attacking 50 for the Tigers at the punt road end.
Well, Dusty had Bolter at the top of the square on his own. His defender had dropped off him, but he's trying to get it to Jack Rewalt, and in the end, buggered it up, but doing the right thing, trying to look after Jack.
Josh Coda, the smothering player, as we have the ball thrown in again. Sherry ripped in a very good tackle and might be gone. No. Given some latitude by the umpire that he probably didn't deserve.
Watch my back.
Big Toby was the one who put the nice tackle on. Ball up inside forward 50, Revolt. High ball, top of the square. Bolter has it knocked away. Graham, handball to McIntosh. Wants his right side. McIntosh brings it around the body but kicks it straight into the guts of Bailey Scott.
Shocking kick. Handball comes to Zeeble. Zeeble from the back end. Tries to exit the defensive area here with a high ball. Taron Thomas, he looks so smooth when he runs onto it. A little spiral on the run to Larkey. Larkey needs to gather quickly and get the handball over the top. No, he doesn't. He gathers, but he doesn't handball. Kicks inside 50. Mark will be taken by Floston driving to the ground. In fact, it's Broad. And Broad has taken the mark deep in the back pocket. So score, Tigers 65, North 43.
Broad forced to run around. He actually did it pretty well in the end and found McIntosh with a kick that went about 4.5 metres. And McIntosh can go sideways to Grimes. Now Hopper inside defensive 50. A short one to Prestia. His short ball finds Taranto. Runs towards the centre circle. Goes to kick the ball, dropped it. Got it back to Hopper. Back to Prestia. They're inching their way forward here. Graham back to Hopper. Hopper on the wing. McIntosh can flick it wide. Flosstone's got about 70 from home and sees Dusty and hits him with no defender anywhere near him.
Coda gave up on him.
No defender within 30 metres.
Gave up early.
Of one of the most dangerous players the game's seen.
Dustin in line, please.
I don't think he wanted anyone to know that he was on him, Jim.
No.
Thought, well, he's going to get it. I'll just hide back here so no one thinks it's my man.
Run the other way. Now Martin from long range attempting a snap. Not going to get there. Drop mark. Drop mark in the square. And worked out of there by Core, who did it nicely. And Turner is paid the mark.
Who was that drop mark in the square? It was a sitter.
I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell it was. Who was it, Jim?
I'm having some coffee.
Might have been
Legitimate.
High footy here. And Larkey appealing for the free kick. Nothing for him. So Young will go back and mop it up for the Tigers. Gives it off to Hopper. Hopper back to Taranto in the middle.
He almost let that go then.
Did.
Taranto's handball was smothered easily on that occasion by Powell. It was a shocker. Picked up by Sheasel. Entering 50. Curtis marks. Within range. Now Curtis is marked. It's going to play on Curtis. Goes inside. He was rushed. Never play on if you're not balanced and ready. Curtis goes back, get it to the gain. Takes a bounce. Little handball into the goal square. Larky's got it. Brilliant by Curtis.
In the end.
Larky kicks the goal. Scoreboard reads 65-49 on the Triple M scoreboard. By the way, Curtis, involved in that passage, is the bench press champion and the deadlift champion of North Melbourne.
130 on the bench, BT.
Paul Curtis
has broken records from Duck's era, JB. Broken all the records.
130 you can push.
Duck will be back in there trying to beat it back.
Which is a large amount for a bloke who's 185 and 84.
I don't know, the deadlift was 300 be right?
Maybe power to weight.
Go with that.
Yeah. Power to weight, Brian, surely.
Well, he is
the strongest.
He's big up there and he's happy with it too.
Is he?
He totally redeemed himself on that occasion.
Yep.
Needed just to go back. He had Larky on, which is the right idea. Team first footy. Just didn't take enough time, which gave Broad a chance to break it up. But he didn't give up. He didn't worry about the mistake. Followed up.
150 kilo bench press.
Is it up?
I'm hearing Brian. 150.
Out of the centre, Thomas goes into the pocket for the big Suv. He got a nice old shove. And he'll get a free. It was a late call.
He's lifting me and a dog above him.
That's bloody. If it's under,
that's a bloody small dog.
Minus the dog.
It's a Chihuahua.
It's one of those head wobbling little dogs you get in your car.
Wait to get in, Days, could ya?
Jeez, you just beat me.
Little bullfrog dog.
You went with little dog. I went with minus the dog.
This Larky's fifth.
Oh, please.
No, sorry, Brian.
Bloody Chihuahua at 1 kilo. Must be big.
Nick Larky for goal number 5.
Sensation or something.
And he loves it.
One of those dogs ladies carry in their handbag.
Larky's got the first 2 of the second half. He's got 5. My man who should be on the bench in the All-Australian team. And it's back to 10 points.
Got 5. He's just stuck under the radar, hasn't he? Been burnt a couple of times, missed an easy shot as well down here. He just does this every week, though. It comes as a surprise most weeks, but it shouldn't be. He is a star, 61 goals now for the season. He's just firming for that bench position, I think.
Surely.
I think, Brian.
Oh, please, this game will have nothing to do with it.
In a rubbish team, Bristle, to kick that many goals is a bloody good effort.
He's been impressive, put it in the pocket and say, I've been impressive, and that's all you should expect to be.
That's it.
For the year.
Okay.
Just impressive.
Favola finished bottom in 06 and was All-Australian.
Yep.
Okay.
Did he win the Coleman though?
Bernie just supporting the approach here. Back to the middle we go. Here's Cherry. Look at that. Little clearance out the back door here to Simpkin. Simpkin holds the arms to keep him clear with the handball. He got it. Went through Cherry's hands. A fumble. The Fennel picked it up. Mungled it inside 50. Long ball. Here comes the Chihuahua man. Got it off there. Little handball comes to Drury. He's caught in the tackle. And they'll have a ball up deep inside the Roos forward end.
The poodle in the handbag.
Yep.
Getting a little bit of early territory in this third term. The Kangaroos kicked a couple on the back of it. There is the ultra-strong Curtis. And it's out of play and out in the full. So good result for the Tigers. Ross, a little one to Nan Curvis.
He set 100 kilo on the deck.
Hang on.
Curtis. Big Nank went down. Has he got him high? Has he got him low?
He's giving that a pull up.
Oh, boy.
Are you kidding me?
Big Nank Cherry knocks it to the boundary line. Here's Taron Thomas. Got a bit of a push. No free kick. Umpire says play on. Thomas got up fighting and then dropped the footy.
How is that not holding the ball against Nan Curtis?
Taron just there, stand.
Grimes will get the free in the back half for the Tigers.
Only had 30 seconds to get rid of it.
Game tightening up. Tigers by just 10 points around the grounds. Please ask Choice Hotels.
Half time, Suns by 2 points over the Blues.
What was the highest margin in that game, please?
40 points to the Gold Coast Suns, 6 minutes into the second.
High climb, now Sherry, look out. Shins it inside 50 and finds the target. He found the target.
What a
Tommy
great
Powell.
kick, Jim. That was a great kick. Lower the eyes. Pinpoint delivery. Love it.
Righto.
Absolute class.
He's the one. He's got him going in this quarter. Sherry taking a flamethrower to the joint. 2 centre clearances. Just spotting blokes up 40 metres. That didn't go above 6 foot.
Perfect kick.
It's Powell done here. Kicked 16 goals from his 43 games. He'll kick from outside 50. This will take everything he's got.
2 steps.
Yeah, and he's fanned it out to the right. Actually, keep it in. And Sherry's down there. He gets wrapped up, though. We'll have the ball up very deep, City end.
You can see why they want the ball in Sherry's hands. Good user.
10-point lead here for the Tigers. It'll get back. It'll run around the corner. Here's Eddie. Kicked at centering ball, and it's been marked here by Hopper. Plays on immediately to Short. Short goes wide and finds Baker. Baker still inside the defensive 50. Almost ran in the protected area. Baker now, little chip over the top is effective. Finds an opportunity. They can run and go here, the Tigers. They've got players lurking everywhere. Ross goes out wide to Short. Short goes short to Martin. Martin couldn't mark the ball down low. Had his feet and his hands taken out. Martin looks a little hurt. Don't know whether he's hurt his arm or not. But they go on in the meantime. The Kangas. Here's Thomas. Trying to take the one-on-one. Beat Grimes easily. Sorry. Thought about the goal. Back to Thomas. Round the corner. Can it be a goal? No. Offline. And it'll stay in play, and the Tigers will repel through Bolter.
It does, and a nice ball. Finds McIntosh.
Being such a good user, I can't believe Sherry didn't just break the line there and have a running shot on goal.
Move it on.
Too unselfish.
Decided to give it off.
I think if you still can access a Webster's dictionary, the word is facetious for how Bernard is speaking at the minute.
We'll get back.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, well, it's nice ball, finds Hopper. They want to go quick here to Prestia. Prestia gets it in the hands of Taranto into the middle now. Look out, Big Nank. Turner with him. He actually controlled that well, Nankervis. Now McIntosh to Pickett. And he's about 55 from home.
Thinking about playing on. Bolton offers the lead. Short, he goes long to Martin. One-on-one in the square. He marks with one hand while holding Scott off with the other. In the goal square. He plays on around the corner and kicks the goal. Martin scores the Tigers' first goal in the second half. 71 plays 55. He's got 3, Dusty, on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
It hurts when you've dominated territory, you've had the ball up your end, and then the Tigs can just trampoline it out. They're so good at that. It was really well done from Nankervis in the middle. We set a task, but the ruckman did well. 2 North Melbourne players pursuing him, and a really nice option there from Marlon Pickett. Looked long, saw Dusty Martin had the match up on Scott. Too big, too strong, too much class in the end, and a nice goal to the champ.
Facetious. Yep. Treating serious issues with deliberately inappropriate behaviour.
That's it.
Or humour.
That's, that's what you're doing.
He's a serious man.
Humour.
That's exactly what you're doing, but
I liked his kick inside 50. Hit his target. It was low, flat, punchy.
Don't think he regards himself as a joke.
16-point lead here for the Tigers. The other game is half-time. Ash, who's leading there?
It is Suns by 2 points over the Blues.
Soldo, a high jump, but his tap was into the path of Phillips. Couldn't access it. Goda put a nice tackle on. It gets out the back. Almost Josh Goda. Gets through now to Phillips. Phillips' handball was horrible.
Poor handball. Oh, another one.
That was another shocking handball. So 2 in a row. Taron Thomas eventually kicks it into the man on the mark. So some very forgettable moments for the Kangaroos, and a ball up at centre-half forward.
That's the difference between the top 4 side and the bottom 4 side. The top 4 side is out there. They just hit that handball, hit a lead up inside 50. 2 or 3 terrible handballs, now ball up.
16-point lead, the Tigers here, midway through this third quarter.
Got 15.
Little tip ball. You heard the call from the umpire wanting the free kick down low, and not going to get it on this occasion is Dow. Greenwood there within centre-half forward it is for the Kangaroos, the City end of the ground. Goldstein knocks it down. Greenwood there and couldn't extract. And we'll have another ball up. Umpire Martin Roger coming in to toss this one up. Goldstein drags Soldo to the ground, and Soldo's head got drilled into the turf. In the meantime, Daniel Rioli, a double bouncer off half-back, gets it to half-forward. Neat kick to Bolter on the lead. 52 metres out. Here's Dusty in the pocket. Marks. He'll have a shot at 4.
Daniel with me.
Dusty Martin is 40 metres, 35 metres out on a tough angle.
Dustin!
Southern stand side road at the punt road end.
He's looking for Cochin.
And he goes short to Cochin. Cochin is marked, same angle, 30 metres out. Southern stand pocket, punt road end.
Geez, he drew a picture on what he was trying to do. How North Melbourne didn't pick up on that he maybe be passing to Cochin when he was pointing and telling him where to lead. They didn't listen. He just kicked it to him.
Had a chance at goal in the first minute of the game. Missed it or didn't go on with it. Cochin on the left boot. Snap. Missed. Minor score there in the end. So 72 plays 55. Jay-Z, Bob Jane, T. Marks.
BT, we spoke about Dustin Martin pre-game and whether Damien Hardwick would try and lure him north. Geez, we're seeing him at the moment. One of the contenders for best on ground so far today. Still an exceptional player.
Bailey Scott, after some hard running, sees Larkey, gets it to him just.
Stand. Play on.
They've got this quickly into their forward half, North Melbourne, and a nice ball. No, it wasn't a nice ball. Looked good, but got to Eddie Ford on the bench. In fact, it's Curtis.
Chihuahua.
And he goes inside looking for Greenwood. Couldn't quite get to him. Soldo picks it up. Just gets it away by hand. And now it's going to have to be Phillips going back, and he drops a simple one.
He does. It allows Bolton to clean it up and got it to Pickett. Pickett dances around. Just about gets rid of Curtis Taylor. Gives the handball backwards to Short. Caught on his wrong left side. High ball. Bolter and Zeeble go at it. Bolter wins it with a juggler. So Bolter at half forward. Wanting to get on with it. Dusty's just come back on the ground, but he's too close.
Stay on the back line, play on.
Bolter looking for something a bit longer. Goes wide, looking for Nankervis, who was being held. I thought it was Nankervis holding him high.
It was. There's that one where Nankervis is the leading player standing in front. He had that stiff arm, left arm on the blind side of the umpire, so he couldn't see it.
Yep.
I reckon if we see this on the Harvey Norman replay, he had a handful of jumper. Mackay can't believe it.
Absolutely could not see from there. So Nankervis with a tough angle from 45 metres. In the end, pops it up into the square. No Richmond players there, really. It was 3-on-1 North way. They sent it through for a behind. So 11-7-73 to North, 8-7-55. Titanium Caravan scoreboard. That other game, please, Ash, at half-time.
It's the Suns by 2 points over Carlton, 7-7-49. The Blues, 7-5-47.
Hayden Core just wandering off the line and had no one to kick it to, so went the other way for Bailey Scott. Scott into the hands of Ford, who actually controlled that pretty well and then tried to flick it to Drury. He couldn't impact. Lots of numbers here for the Kangaroos. They should be able to work this out. Goda takes off down the wing and then absolutely hacks it. Couldn't have kicked it worse. And Graham's going to thump it back into Bolter. Almost a big climb. Goda's going to have a second go at kicking the footy, and that's equally as bad.
Comes over the back again, spills out here to Broad, brushes off the handball wide to Baker. He's got plenty of time. Baker going forward, Rewalt here. Mark taking Mackay.
Stand shy, play on.
Mackay out the back to Zeeble. Zeeble short kick finds Perez. And Perez slows things down for the Roos. Sideways short, still deep in defence with Core. Core able to run, but they try and lure him into a trap, and they want him to kick the footy. Kick to Curtis was punched away by Short. Nankervis front and centre. Gives a little kick to Cochin. Cochin's told to play on. Neat ball around the corner to Dow. Marks, runs inside 50, 40, 30, closing, missed to the right. And a final score. In fact, out of bounds in the end. So scores stay at 73, Richmond 55 North.
Scott's going to get run down. He just got the kick away. And it's going to go wide of Ford and out of play. And it's going to be throwing because he was in a tackle as he kicked it. 73-55 here. Richmond in control. 7 minutes left in this third term. As we get a ball in out of side. Shane Warne stand side. Soldo, Goldstein, Taranto, Greenwood on the up to Simpkin. Ford handball's a good one to Powell. Powell to Drury. Not sure what he's got in the trick bag. He goes back to Powell. Ford. Powell again.
Kick it.
Yeah, they want to kick it. Eventually they do. And Curtis Taylor can't pick the footy up. He's now got about 4 players to beat. And he is pancaked. And we're going to have a ball up, 15 out.
He's just not quite clean enough, Curtis Taylor, is he?
Tough one to take, that one, but geez, they just need to kick the footy, North. They just handball.
I mean, he has a crack and does all the other things reasonably well.
Just the one touch at ground level has been exposed today.
There's Martin, little hand on it, knocked down.
Unlike this bloke.
There's the difference.
He takes a bounce, goes wide and shares the ball with Rewald on the wing. Rewalt's got Noah Bolter on further down the ground. He's found space. He's got Pickett on if he can get it around the corner.
Play on.
Now he does. He took a long time to do it. That allowed an opportunity for Scott to come in and spoil the footy to the boundary. Over the line out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in deep in the attack zone here for the Tigers, the punt road end. They lead 73 to the Kangas 55 Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Stood the mark well there, Court. Pushed Bolter back off the mark, which bought time for the North Melbourne players on the offside to get over and help defend.
So ball in. Soldo, Goldstein to ground. Soldo, the snap. That's going to miss. I'm not sure Jack Zeeble touched it anyway. So 11-8. Some inaccuracy keeping the Kangaroos in this.
Soldo's having a good game.
Zeeble to the outer side.
I don't know about stat-wise, but influence-wise.
Handball over the top now to Scott, who's had a fair bit of it. They've had all sorts of trouble getting a target hit out here, North Melbourne.
4 metres. Play on.
Larkey, Perez.
Stand, play on.
Goda, who has had all sorts of issues kicking the footy. This time he just thumps a long one out the back. And a good mark taken by Curtis. Top of the square, almost.
Slow down, young man. Think your way through this. Don't try and pass it off.
Let it go. Let it go.
And don't give a free kick away, Ford.
That's their best passage of play this afternoon, the Kangas. Good long kick in, some overlap run, and executing the skills, which, when you are trying to transfer the ball, certainly helps.
150-kilo bench press.
Paul Curtis to kick the goal to the city end. Shouldn't miss from there, and he doesn't. So 3 of the last 4 goals in this game, North, and they are hanging in. 11-8-74.
Hey, there's a free kick. Saw that. No,
Larkey.
Yes, Larkey's got it. Camden McIntosh. There's a bit going on when that set shot was happening. I was watching off ball, and Camden McIntosh has been sucked into going high on Larkey. Sort of a double fist, almost jumper punch to the jaw of Larkey. So Larkey will get the free kick now. 30 metres out, slide angle. Geez, that's silly from McIntosh. Double goal territory, this one.
So they'll wait for the ad to be taken, I think, and they
Here we
will
go.
come back here. McIntosh high, Rivashini says, and free kick Larky's way as you've described.
We did have the Rivashini family ring up at half-time, Brian. He isn't one of the bald ones.
No.
Thank you, Brian.
No, it's
just they wanted their official correction.
It's Martin Roger. So here is Larky with the free ball. 20 metres out. Looking for his, is it 6th?
Yep.
And kicks his 6th. Wow. And trims the margin by 12 points from those last 2 North Melbourne kicks into an intriguing game of football. Now a 7-point margin in favour of the Tigers on the Triple M scoreboard.
Engrave his name in the All-Australian bench.
Come on.
Got to be in now, Brian. 6 goals equal PB this season. His PB, career PB, I should say, is 7. So that's in danger, I reckon. I reckon he could go past this. Just seen the replay on the Harvey Norman. I saw his head fly back, so I thought he double punched him in the jaw, but probably read a little bit too much into that.
I reckon he got him in the chest.
Got him in the chest.
The old head was the act.
Chest, neck, bit of whiplash. He whiplashed himself, Nick Larkey, but you know what? He's kicked his 6th.
Just with Bailey Scott, last 12 matches averaging 25 per game today, 19 disposals, 505 metres gained.
So we have a 7-point ball game.
Should encourage heads going back and then reward them with All-Australian.
I want the goal-kicking list so we can shut Brian up once and for all as this ball goes inside 50. The Coleman medal list, please, Ash.
Kerno, Walker, Larkey.
Bouncing it to the outer side beautifully is Rioli. Gives it to Floston. Tries to find Rioli again. He ran past the footy. And the ball is out.
All right, here we go, JB. So Kerno, as we speak, 74 majors, top of the table, followed by Walker at 65. Larkey, 3rd with 62.
Bristol, in the worst team in the comp. That's our point.
Just please yourself. He's a chance. He's a chance, but that's it. That's where it finishes. And if he gets an opportunity, well, he's in. So here we go. Tackled by Sherry. And it'll be a Richmond free.
Going the other way.
Going North's way, is it?
No,
the Tigers' way. Nankervis ball at half back. Tigers slowing down. 7-point leaders at the 23-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. Here's Daniel Rioli, who hasn't stopped running all day. Kick towards McIntosh, couldn't win it. At the side door it was to Tucker initially with a handball. North Melbourne keep control now here with Turner. A loopy thing to Sheasel, put him pumped, got it back to Turner. Spun out of the Macintosh tackle but lost the footy in the meantime, and they've made a bit of a mess of it right on the wing. And in the end, North Melbourne win it. Turner to Taylor. Taylor inside finds Phillips. Phillips can run and play on. Here's Larkey in a one-on-one. It was a shocking kick to his disadvantage.
Eddie Ford, you can see how unhappy he was. Just a simple lead-up. He was out, had his man cold, and then just got cooked again. Just got to sum up all options going inside 50.
Stone finds Broad. Half back here for the Tigers. Looked corridor. Still got a corridor option in Hopper. Doesn't go there. Short one finds Grimes. 74-67. We've got a game of football. Grimes with Thomas coming at him. Goes with a handball to Broad. Arches the back, gets out of the tackle. Streaming through the middle, Broad, a long one. Soldo. Great mark.
He's on fire.
Taking a very good contested mark on Zeeble. And he's kicked a goal from about this range. He's got Baker running. Should have given it to him. Had no one in front of Baker defending that handoff. 2 minutes 35 seconds left, and
geez, this would take his absolute best, I reckon. Look how far back he goes.
Got couple.
You're on the right line.
Two, yeah.
There it is.
Just the 7 disposals, but he's been impactful in the ruck, and now he could kick his third goal. Very deliberate. Approaches the 50. No, never got anything like good contact on that. It's going to land about 1.5 meters out. No one defended the mark. Put it to behind.
Lucky North Melbourne that covered the line.
Just got there by 0.5 metre. Kicks it high, doesn't he, Soldo? Seems to get it very high on his instep.
Gets a bit close to the man on the mark.
Dustin, back to the 9.
Zeeble in the back pocket. Took the mark. Goes on with a handball to Sheasel. Sheasel hammers it more in hope. Short. Would have knocked the ball down. Tigers got some numbers there. Young handball straight to the Kangaroos. Goda. Free kick will go the way of Goda here.
Shouldn't have.
He actually threw that. And it was a good tackle.
75 the Tigers, 67 the Kangas. Goda oh well, not such a beautiful ball over the head of Taron Thomas. Picked up by Short at the back. Short kick finds Baker.
Baker. Give it back to Short. You're good users. That's why you pick out Ivan with a long ball down the line.
Angry.
Got Revol inside 50. Here he comes. Ball just can't quite get to him. Morris with a little spinning move. And Graham is mowing down, holding the ball.
Who did they sub out down there, Jay-Z?
Marlon Pickett's been subbed out of the game. Morris Rioli just comes straight onto the ground.
Okay. Here is Simpkin in the meantime. Anything wrong with him or just a tactical sub, do you think?
I think more tactical, give Morris Rioli a bit of game time.
Okay, Simpkin, high footy, right on the head of Goldstein. Well, Cherry it was. Here's Baker, picked it up like a basketball. Tried to bounce it one go until he got control of it, and then he was confronted with an aggressive tackle by Howe and a ball up on centre wing. So full scoreboard, 11-9-75 the Tigers. North at 10-7-67. That other game, Ash, what's happening there?
Blues in front by 5 points over the Suns early into the third quarter.
Morris Jr. dropped a pretty easy mark. Morris Jr. picks it up. He needs some support. Ball pinned. He's caught, and they'll have a ball up inside the Tigers attacking 50.
He's had some moments today, Howe.
Oh, my goodness.
Kicked it backwards to Dusty Martin. Threw it to Morris Rioli there.
That's as politely put as I've heard.
Yep.
Some moments. There's a thrown out ball from Sherry, ends up with Bolton. Wobbling ball forward. Here is Morris. Just getting a hand in for the North Melbourne Footy Club. Darcy Tucker and A behind the result. 10-7-67 to 11-10. Is that Ash? 76?
11-10, spot on.
Yep, 11-10-76. So just a few seconds left here in the third quarter. Zeeble will kick in from fullback. The Tigers just with their noses in front. It's been a 4-goal-to-1 quarter in favour of the Kangaroos this quarter. So they've made some ground and done well to give themselves a chance here in the last quarter. A 9-point margin it will be going into the last quarter. Simpkin hammered by Bolton. Siren sounds. Bolton's got the free. He's 60 metres out, maybe a bit further. Only the barrel can get there, so let's see if he can, just for the sake of it, make some nice barrel contact here. Man on the mark stands at 62 metres out. Bolton from the boundary line with the torp, and no good. Drop short, so three-quarter time. Richmond holding on here, 11-10-76. North 10-7-67 around the grounds as on that other one.
Blues by 6 points over the Suns, 7 minutes into the third quarter.
With McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks football.
That quarter, the Titanium Caravans. Titanium Caravans are built to tackle Australia's toughest conditions. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
This week, score 20% off your entire order when you spend $10. Only on the My Maccas app.
Here at Triple M, we're all about rock's greatest hits. Songs you love and aren't embarrassed to admit it. So if you love this, stay right here. But if you want this, maybe wander down to that dial on the mob that rhymes with old. 105.1 Triple M, Melbourne's home of good times and rock's greatest hits.
Campbell Brown here with Andrew Shea, the CEO of Builders Academy. For those already experienced, what can Builders Academy offer?
Thanks, Brownie. If you have a number of years' experience in the building and construction industry, we can help you via a process called recognition of prior learning. We gather evidence of your knowledge, skills and experience and help you pathway towards gaining a nationally recognised qualification.
Thanks, Andrew. Get in touch with Builders Academy on 1300 Legend.
RTO 21583.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. At Bob Jane T-Mart, we've got great deals for every budget. Up to $200 instant cashback on selected Bridgestone, Dunlop, Michelin and Pirelli tyres. 16 and 17-inch 4x4 steel wheel and tyre packages from $9.99. That's 4 wheels and 4 tyres under $1,000. We won't be beaten with our best tyre price guarantee. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
Imagine a super fund with vision as sharp as a hawk who use it to hunt for ways to keep fees low. Vision Super. Super Vision. Visit visionsuper.com.au and consider the PDSs and TMDs and if the product is right for you before investing.
Up to 25% off Acer computers. Now at Harvey Norman. Acer Aspire 3 laptop. Now just $388, save $110. Boost your productivity with the Acer Aspire 5. Now only $698, save $200. Save $300 on Acer Aspire 3 with 16 gig RAM and 1 terabyte storage. Now $998. And save $400 on Acer Swift Go with stunning OLED screen. Now $1098. More hot deals at Harvey Norman now.
Real people, real products, real fun. No matter who you are, Sexyland has something real sexy for everyone. With Australia's biggest range of sexy costumes, lingerie, couples toys and fun gifts and games for adults. 11 stores in Melbourne and Geelong open till midnight 7 days a week. Or shop online for 2-hour delivery.
Take me now, hot cool man. Take me now, Sexyland.
Sexyland.com.au.
With IGA's Community Give Back Sale, you can make big savings.
And help support local causes. Just look for tickets on specials, like Arnott's Chocolate Biscuits, 160 to 250 gram selected varieties, $2.25 each, half price. Now at your local IGA. Offer ends August 22 while stocks last.
This is the sound of David finding a bargain on his car insurance. Woohoo! And this is the sound of what that bargain may cost David in the long run. That's right, that's the sound of bargain regret, which can be very expensive. Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does.
Lucky you're with Amy.
Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you. TMD also available.
Shut up! The footy's on the radio!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade. Beacon Trade's here to partner with your business with lighting and electrical products for every Aussie home. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rock football, three-quarter time lead for the Tigers, just 9 points, 11-10-76 to North 10-7-67. Ream Hot Water, built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream. Ash with the Red Z lending stats.
This is Dustin Martin, number 1 ranked player, 22 disposals and 3 majors. Thomas leads away for North, also with 22 and a couple of goals.
Around the grounds, Choice Hotels.
It's all tied up almost halfway into the third quarter, 8-7, 55 apiece between the Suns and the Blues.
Bob Jane T-Marts have great buy 3, get 1 free plus instant cashback deals. Call or order online today. T's and C's apply. Jay-Z?
I reckon a bugbear of yours over the journey is players who turn their back to the play, especially inside forward 50. Well, Ivan Soldo did that late in that third term, and Dustin Martin gave him an almighty cook. He was one out in the square at the time, said, Ivan, turn around. There's a fearsome spray there from Dustin Martin. The only injury today, Lukey McDonald, done his hamstring and was subbed out. Also, Marlon Pickett subbed out for the Tigers.
Seabus Super making hard work pay off. Daisy and Bernie.
Well, to North Melbourne's credit, they've hung around. Obviously, the double goal is helpful in that. It's just the skill execution at the minute that probably sees them trailing. They've had the better of the play. It's just that last final piece of the puzzle to hit someone on the chest with a handle or execute a kick that's given the Tigs a chance to go the other end and score. But they've certainly been up for the fight. Their effort and intent's been outstanding. And as it stands, they give themselves a chance to go on and win it, Burn.
North have done this so often this year, though. They've pressed teams right up until sort of the last quarter or halfway through the last quarter, then get run over the top of. So hopefully it's not a carbon copy again today. Let's see if they can turn it around, have their first win since round 2.
Last half hour for 3 very, very good players. Zeeble, Cochin, Revolt. And the ball's about to be bounced to start this final term. Nankervis, Goldstein, brought to ground. Powell comes in and picks it up, and then he is ripped in the tackle. Same can be said for Greenwood. Centre circle's another ball up.
Todd. Thanks you.
Last little bit of sun left on that Shane Warne stand side of the ground. Lights ablaze at the G. And we've got a game that is anybody's right now in the first minute of the last quarter. A 9-point Richmond lead. Nankervis does the ruck work. Goldstein wraps him up in the tackle. And we'll have another ball up. Still inside the centre square here. Hasn't gone outside the centre square in this quarter. Ball spills loose now. Opportunity for Ross to go forward with the high ball. Rewald ducked forward and then came back. Here's Morris Jr. Just got the handball away. Out the back door they come. Cotchin with a little bit of a fumble. Simpkin in a vicious tackle there. And we'll have a ball up attacking 50 here now for the Tigers.
Toby.
Nice bit of late sun.
Like it.
Starting to get warmer. We're getting towards finals as here's Dusty. Been supreme around the body ball. Core fumbles it through for a behind. First score of this final term is a behind. 11-11 to 10-7. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
It's been the scoring end, hasn't it? The City end. What are the scores that end, Ash?
Yeah, come back to shortly, yep.
Caught him off guard there. He's thinking about something else.
Googling something else.
Fiesel.
Swiping and
goes wide. Just having a look at the Point Cook Pizza place to see whether there's anything happening there.
High contact, special. Richmond.
There's McIntosh. Alec Bread. Short's got the free here.
Outside 5.
He's well advanced up the field here at half forward. Short. Bolter offers the lead. Jack Rewalt looking for a jump here. Got a bit of freedom as well. Couldn't get the height. Bolton off hands. Over the shoulder, round the corner, this way, that away. Nails it. Class act.
so good.
Bolton kicks the goal. And I think he's got 3 or 4. 4 he's got, Bolton. 83 plays 67 the Tigers' way.
How much time does he create just by not even really moving? He sort of sells players without moving. He's got an elite talent. This kid, 4 goals today. Brilliant finish. They just couldn't lay a glove on him, and he sort of hardly moved, does he? He just sells one way, sells the other. Let's have a look on the Harvey Norman.
It was young Sheasel who had the match-up with him into the pocket. Just the body movement, as we know. A step one way, sold 3 of the North defenders a step the other way.
They were all going aground and diving. And
I think McIntosh was still looking for the ball because he feigned to give it to him and he was confused, and then good enough across the body. Just class. Good learning for Sheasel there. Got led into the pocket, didn't put any body on. It was a foot race back to goal. The separation was all that was required.
12-11 at 10-7. First goal for the Tigers as they go forward again through Martin, who's been superb. It's not a great ball. Hacked across the body, and now Bailey Scott's got to work hard. He gets a A kick away, but it's out in the full. Good heat from Revolt chasing him.
On the line, foot on the line. On the line.
And the Tigers are about to bring this back in. They go short and find Baker.
Stand.
Baker's at half forward. Very deliberate.
Isn't it stagnant? Nobody moving.
He goes inside 50. Here comes Bolter. Got it. Noah Bolter. And just go back and kick the goal, Noah.
He's already looking around for who can he handle it off to, who can he give it. Just calm the mind down. Just take a deep breath, Noah. Just go back. Maybe not quite that far, but he's gone back a long way.
To the city end to make it the first two of this final term, and tough for the Kangaroos. Were this to go through, we're back out to 22 points. Noah Bolter, set shot. Got it. 2 in a row Tigers to start the final quarter. 10-7 to 13-11. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Zero movement for him when that ball was being kicked in, and still North Melbourne didn't find a way to cover the most dangerous spot on the ground, which was going to be the hot spot where all of these slow, long kicks come in. Harvey Norman replay. Core was his direct opponent. Again, just happy to stand side by side. So when you watch the better teams with good defenders, they will be pushing, bodying, so they take away your timing, your ability to get a run and jump at it. Aidan Core on that occasion just happy to stand side by side, make it an athletic contest, and Bolter came up on top.
Kicked the first two of the last here on the Beacon Trade scoreboard.
15 goals to the city end, 8 to the Punt Road end, Brian, in case you were wondering.
Very nice. Beacon Trade's here to partner with your business with lighting and electrical products for every Aussie home. Beacon Trade, let's make light work. Back to the middle we go. Thomas trying to take it away. Tigers through Taranto, due to Prestia. Prestia squirted the handball back to Martin, and he sends the ball inside 50 with a bit of fury on it. Here is Morris Jr. tapped it out in front of McIntosh. Got the little handball to Dow, but he had a fumble to Greenwood. Kick is short here to Curtis. He threw it. He absolutely threw the ball to Powell there, and the umpire couldn't see it. It comes back to the man that can lift all sorts of weight. Curtis had missed to the right.
So top heavy.
21-point margin in favour of the Tigers.
Don't skip leg day.
Well, he might have done himself a little calf here.
He does look ginger getting up, that's true. McIntosh.
Outside 5. You kick.
And because he's ginger, Grimes is wide open.
Outside 5. Play on. Yours kick.
He goes.
He's coming off, Kurt.
To a dangerous spot. Sheasel tried to slap it through. Greenwood got a little piece of Martin. Now Prestia goes back to Cochin, goes back to Martin. Tough one for the champ to handle. So he just dribbled it through. They get it all the way to Cochin. Cochin off a step. Great kick for Bolter. And he's 35 from home, tight angle city end.
He just knew when to leave the contest there, Trent Cochin. That's 300 games of experience right there. Realised that Richmond were going to win the contest inside, and he thought, well, I'm going to get on my bike because once we win this, I'll be the receiver. And then he found himself in a heap of space. Beautiful kick inside 50 to Bolter. Comes off the ground now.
To make it 3 in a row to start this final term, Noah Bolter. That's good. Right through the guts. 14-11. 95 to 10-8-68. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
The call was absolutely perfect. Off a step, got the ball, Trent Cochin, and released it. Just took the one steadying step as he was about to be run down, and the ability to see the pocket of space. Rewalt was coming short at him, just to put a touch extra on that kick to the advantage of Noah Bolter. Absolutely brilliant. Harvey Norman replay, one step, didn't break stride, did Bolter, and then a class finish too. Not sure Jack will be too happy with this, Bernie, because these should be going to him. Get up the ground a bit, Noah, empty out. We need Jack out of the goal square.
Why aren't they doing that?
Just, disposals this quarter, 29-6 Richmond's way. North 6 touches in 7 minutes, and Trent Cochin 16 disposals, 4 clearances to date in his final game.
Around the grounds, please, Ash.
It's the Blues by 5 points over the Suns, 5.5 to go before three-quarter time.
27-point margin here in favour of the Tigers. They've got hold of this one early in the last quarter, and they're basically blowing out any chance of North getting up, particularly if they kick another one here now. Sheasel off halfback, did well to Simpkin. Simpkin able to brush the tackle, got it to Thomas. Inside. Thomas gloved it nicely, kicks it inside forward 50 with a nice kick. Couldn't quite mark it. Curtis Taylor Ground level, need to knock it out, doesn't need to drag it back in, needs to keep it alive. Grimes somehow got it, the kick though to Thomas, and Thomas's mark. 45 metres out with not much angle here, Taron Thomas.
Yeah, well done, Thomas. Had a good day, Taron Thomas. Had to go back with the flight there, knew the heat was coming, and probably if you could choose one person not to have coming at you, it would be Toby Nankervis, and it was him. Made him earn it, but he certainly got the distance here, just a matter of accuracy.
So Taron Thomas, man on the mark, Nankervis standing at the 45-metre mark. This is at the punt road end.
Reversal.
Contact
Richmond. Richmond free kick.
That was Drury. I was watching that. Gloston sucked him in, hit him in the chest, and then Drury retaliated. Turnover. Silly boy.
So Nankervis will go to Martin, who takes it just inside the field of play in front of Jay-Z.
Outside 5.
If you're the sub coming on, Jim, probably want to be doing everything right, not turning him over when you've got a free set shot at goal.
So a long ball from Martin to half forward. Core in a marking contest, almost taken by Bolter, who's been really good since going forward. Flicking handball. In a bit of strife back there was Simpkin, and he has walked into about 5 tacklers, and he's gone. Holding the ball.
He turned into the two biggest blokes on the ground.
Nankervis with the free. Point of the square, half forward.
Play on.
Slow play.
End zone.
Nankervis, here comes Soldo. Soldo over the top, couldn't mark Sheasel. Almost threw it out the back door there to Howe. Handball over the top, finds Tucker. Now Thomas at half-back takes the mark.
Not much forward here.
Kick sideways here to Simpkin. Simpkin marks, draws the handball, so they're away here, the Kangas. Little ball comes up here to Drury. Drury got it back inside now to Powell. Powell to Larkey on the lead, missed him. He had Young beaten as well and fumbled through, so it'll be 10-9-69 North to Richmond 14-11-95 on the Beacon Trade scoreboard. Around the grounds, Ash.
It's the Blues by 5 points over the Suns. 3.5 to go before three-quarter time.
Broad wobbles one. Howe and Bolter. Bolter normally wins these, and that's no exception, although he's wrapped up pretty well in the end by Howe and taken over the line for a boundary throw-in. 95-69.
Listen.
First 3 of this final term to the Tigers.
Thank you. Hold the meter.
Who have wrestled control of this game. Ball in.
Play on.
Almost Simpkin at the front. Phillips picked it up, shoveled the handball back to Howe, who gets past a couple, gives it back to Phillips.
End zone.
Phillips, an inside 50 ball. It's going to work. Eddie Ford. 35 out directly in front.
Had a bit of chopper about the shape of that footy going inside 50, and that's why it dropped. Richmond was sort of leaning or going to where they thought the ball was going to drop, but it dipped late. Eddie Ford, easy lead up.
No goals yet in this game for Eddie Ford, I should say, and this would be a good time for one. Get it back to 20 points. Give the Kangaroos some sort of sniff. To the punt road end, stuttering run up forward. Never looked like it. Never, ever looked like it. Did his best to kick it out of bounds on the full.
So Richmond to kick the ball back into play. In fact, behind it was.
Play on.
So short now to the boundary line finds Young. Tyler Young.
5. Play on.
At half-back, and he does as the umpire suggests through the umpire mics there, but it'll be marked by Sherry right in front of the interchange area here on the wing. Sherry looking to handball, and then that unorthodox double-hand James Manson-style drop of the footy. Up they go. Curtis Taylor spun out of there looking for Drury, missed him. Ross kept his awareness about him. Ball spills to Ford, gave it off here to Howe. Howe inside 50. Curtis was there, so was Phillips. Neither a winner or Powell it was in the end. Daniel Rioli has worked hard today. Forces a ball up. So scoreboard 14-11-95 the Tigers. North 10-10-70.
Got a ball up inside their forward 50. Work down into the path of Rioli, who goes an underground handball to Ross, who tried to tap it to Taranto. They flick it all the way through. Hopper met solidly by Phillips.
Ball up.
Big contest.
It's going to be a ball up 50 from home for the Kangaroos.
Has a crack Phillips, doesn't he, over the footy?
Yep. Hopper there looked just a little dingy. Looked like he almost got hit in the head then. It's okay though. Here's Ross from the stoppage. The takeaway is good. Little handball back inside to Hopper. He looks okay now. Bolter stopped on the footpenny bit and marked against Mackay. Squeezed the trigger with a handball to Bolton. Bolton's handing him on the boundary line. That was well done by Scott. Just kept going at the hips and got him eventually. Forces the turnover. If Mackay can win the footy here, he does. To Scott out the back door.
Not 15.
Not 15. McIntosh claiming the mark, but not 15. The correct call. Take the handball backwards to Broad. Broad and neat ball finds Bolton at half forward.
How does someone not man up? The most dangerous player on the ground.
They've ground to a halt, North Melbourne.
Stand you.
I think they've got the sense that this one's done. Hopper from 50. Uncontested marking options everywhere forward of the ball. But Jacob Hopper likes the look of this from long range. It'll take a very good kick.
Just watch North Melbourne going to sleep here, and he pulled the kick.
Play on.
He goes with a very deliberate ball. It's going a long way. Bolter almost. Rioli. And it's touched through by Sheasel. Right on the line.
Let's go around the grounds, Ash.
It's the Suns by 1 point over the Blues, nearing three-quarter time, 24 seconds to go.
Okay, so the Suns with their noses in front and a bit of a boil over up there on the Gold Coast. Here's Scott working with a tap on there to Turner. Couldn't capitalise. Daniel Rioli had a great year. Applies the tackle. Good pressure allows Baker and Martin to have a chance at winning the footy. Neither did in the end, though. Simpkin. Martin fell over as he picked up the footy. And a ball up.
Gone, I reckon, Bristol.
Very free kick will go the way here of the Kangas at half back.
Thank you. Get the ball.
And umpire just telling him to get the ball if he wants it. Pushes Martin over in his attempts to get it. Martin just got a bit of a cramp in the right hamstring then.
Play on.
So this is Goda. Goes down the line and a nice kick finds Curtis.
Play on.
Curtis on that left foot around the corner here. Sherry in front, dropped the chest mark again. Then bowled over Dow. Accidentally, I think it was. Simpkin back inside. Off hands it comes. Drury. Snap over the shoulder. Excuse me. 96-71. I can't hold the binoculars, press the button and talk all in the one action with the odd cough.
Missed that snap from the top of the goal square with no heat on him. 96-71, short to thump it long down the middle. Broad, stretching high, unable to take it. Well done by Baker. Released it only as far as Sheasel. Look at Morris Rioli go to work at ground level. And he'll get a free here, Morris. Play on. Forward of the ball is Martin, 50 from home. All caused by some real good sizzle from Morris Rioli Jr. Now Dusty.
Jack Rewald just come on.
Here he comes. He's coming at it. Well done.
He cleared the whole path there, didn't he? He waited for every other guy to get out of the way. He said, no, I'm not kicking it to you.
If you're playing for North Melbourne, at what point do you realise that he's going to not kick it, and he's stared down Trent Cotchin at one end and waited the best part of 10 seconds for Jack up this end? Flummoxed.
So Jack Revolt to make it 4 in a row in this final quarter. To the city end. And he's dragged it to the left to behind. 14-13 to 10-11.
Not a great kick from Rewald as Call brings the ball back into play very, very quickly. 97 the Tigers, 71 North Melbourne here. Call almost ran into a corner that he couldn't get out of. Kicks to Greenwood. Greenwood keeps the ball moving here to Goda. Goda goes to half forward. Curtis tries to get under him. Larkey with a little socker to favour himself against Floston. Can he keep it alive? No. Over the line out of bounds, but deep in the North Melbourne forward pocket.
PT Harry Sheasel, 33 touches today, so he now holds the record for the most number of disposals during the home and away in their first season of AFL footy. 589 for the season.
Who's he overtaken at?
Scotty Russell back in 1990.
Ball in. Inside forward 50, work to the front. It was Thomas that was flying through, and then Curtis who laid the tackle. JC.
You think all of the Richmond fans will hang around for the post-game scenes, JB? It's going to be emotional as Jack Rewalt and Trent Cotchin, I'm sure, will be cheered off. And as you can see, a decent Richmond crowd as they come to the MCJ to say goodbye to those two premiership heroes. You think they'll all be hanging around to watch them wave goodbye for the last time, cheered off by their teammates.
You can see Jake the push-up king.
Yeah, sitting up there near Benny Gale.
He just in the real important seats, Jake. Selling caravans now, Jake.
Is he?
Yep.
Titanium?
I'm not sure. Probably is, yes, of course, the number one. Sherry kicks it straight into a man standing in front of him. And that ball goes out of play.
Throw it in. Harvey Norman replay. It would have been harder to miss Daniel Rioli than it was kicking.
And he's laughing himself at it now, Daniel Rioli.
Look at the sprint of the North Melbourne boy to get to the bench. Surrey. Why bother? It's late and it's over. Boundary throw in. It was a completely unnecessary sprint. I think he was trying to arouse the attention of those folk here today as
he got it.
McIntosh over the line out of bounds. We'll throw it in again. All of this action inside the North forward 50. They need to get something happening very quickly here, the Kangas. 7 minutes left in the game for Zeeble.
He's come on. He's gone straight to full forward. Dylan Grimes waiting for him. Just gave him a nice little knuckle. So very friendly out there at the minute.
Just what you want in your last. So Zeeble into the goal square. Ball not far from there now. Soldo with the knock. Back to Thomas. Thomas kick around the corner out of bounds on the full. Scores stay at 97-71 Tigers way.
Outside 5.
Everyone's getting a feed. Taron Thomas is tonight.
Yeah.
Cooked another teammate at the top of the square. The Thomas Jackson.
He's gone from medium well to well done.
he's got a whole family coming.
Grimes high and wide. Mark taken out there by Greenwood. Quickly releasing handball to Howe. Howe a long one inside 50 and a good mark taken by Young.
That's all right. Outside 5.
Young, top of his own goal square, wants to give it off to Flostone, does so now. Nick Floston sees Morris Rioli Jr. centre half back.
Morris Rioli Jr. plays on and he sees Baker wide on the northern flank at half back. Finds him, short kick to Graham. Graham's able to play on with freedom and space. Daniel Rioli working hard here, short kick to Young. Back to Graham. Graham to Rewalt. Rewalt on the lead. Marks. 30 metres out. Pretty tough angle, but it suits his shape of shot. The left to right SETI.
Looks like he's going to snap here on the left foot, Brian.
He is.
Well, the two players that were free inside 50 were the two retirees, Cotchin and Rewalt.
So Rewalt with a kick of 35 metres, going to kick it on his left foot around the corner. Big ask. Plays on now. Got good purchase, didn't bring it back enough. 98, plays 71 in favour of the Tigers on the Triple M scoreboard. Let's go around the grounds, please, Ash.
Play about to get underway for the final quarter, and it's the Suns by 1 point over the Blues.
Howe bouncing down the outer side, not much to go to. He's got Larkey on long. And the kick. What's that? It was horrible. Kicked it out into the stand.
It's a great chase from Bolter. Came from 40 metres behind as Howe continued to run and bounce. Never gave up on it. Just got there in the end to affect it. Sees the ball fly into the third row.
So the Tigers will go forward again. Not a great ball. Straight to Aiden Core, who took a simple mark in defence. So just counting down the seconds here. Tigers predictably going to win.
Stand shy, play on.
North Melbourne have had their moments, but again, not able to really sustain. Go to Sheasel. Bailey Scott's actually been good. Sheasel's handball finds Greenwood, and then Sheasel gets it back and kicks it straight to the opposition. Although Baker just run under the ball. Grimes picked it up, got out of a horrible Taron Thomas. And they're away.
Got it to Graham. Graham through the centre circle. Short ball to Rewalt. Marks inside the centre square. Turns around. Goes inside looking for Bolton in the goal square. Core won't get back. Bolton marks. I think he was short of the goal square.
Outside the square.
He was. The umpire agrees, but he's only 5 metres out. How many has he kicked today? 4.
4. This would be a PB.
Oh, hang on.
So number 5 that he missed. Wow. He has the capability of doing that from time to time. 71 plays 99 in favour of the Tigers here at the MCG with 4 minutes left in the careers of Zeeble, Cotchin and Rewalt.
2 metres back, stand, play on.
Inside North Melbourne's defensive area, thumping left foot ball down the outer side, but a nice mark taken by Young in front of Larkey. on the wing. All the gas out of this one now. Tigers kicking the first 3 of this final term, taking complete control. Revolt! There we are. One final elevation. Takes it in the pocket. And can soak up some much-deserved applause. Not going to make his top 10 best grabs, but it was a good one.
And he is soaking it up.
He needs to finish now. Had some good looks today.
Round the body snap from the pocket for Jack. And has missed another one.
Been a little ordinary with the kicking today. Jack, normally so good. I think he's had one of his worst kicks in his career earlier in the game.
His first one, wasn't it, Brian?
Yeah, it was a shocker poker. There's Simpkin. Handball to Eddie.
Zeeble, the other end.
Eddie Ford to Zeeble. Has he got the length in him from here? Man on the marks at 45.
No, he's never had problem with length of his kick.
Zeeble tells everyone to settle. He's going to take the kick, and he's earned the right to do that. Jack Zeeble in game 280, Ash, if I'm not correct.
It is 10th most, I should say, of any North Melbourne player.
The 10th most, he's just burbling that out.
Try that again.
That's the point in history where they need to become clean at Ash.
A lot of F's and TH's in there.
So here is Zeeble. Kick of 47 metres and missed it badly left. In fact, just about out of bounds on the full no. They're going to give him a behind. So 72 North, 100 Richmond. Let's go around the grounds, Ash, please. Choice Hotels.
Suns by 7 points over the Blues early into the final quarter.
Rioli to bring the footy back in. Got Nick Floston on short. Goes there, just inside the field of play. That mark's taken.
Stand!
And he's just going to dump a long one down the wing. Nankervis to fly. Call with a fist.
Good fist.
Eddie Jones tried to find Perez, who ran straight into a tackler, flicked a handball forward, but Jaden Short chops it off. Here's Dusty on the wing. Nothing ahead of him, so he finds Cochin.
Deliberately finds Cochin.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Soak it up.
And look at Martin saying, mate, have the ball in the hand as long as you can. There he is. Cochin's got it on the wing. Crowd stands and applauds. The triple premiership captain goes forward, and the mark has been taken here by Core at half-back.
Give it back to him.
28-point lead here for the Tigers. High footy. Grimes is going to attempt to take the mark. Couldn't win it. Cochin now ground level. He and Thomas were both careful. Ball will go over the line out of bounds. And it will, and we'll have a boundary thrown at half forward for the Kangas.
Not sure that went out. Jaden Short doesn't think it did either.
He does not think that.
It's on the line, but I don't think it was out.
I don't think it was out either.
We've got 28-point lead for the Tigers. Last minute and a bit left in this game and in some wonderful footy careers. Ross all the way back to Short. Short sort of hacks it to Bolter. Normally just any space is enough for him. This time he ran out of room, although he still does some beautiful work. Gets back onto the footy brilliantly and then thumps it forward. Mackay one out.
Play on.
Revolt worrying Mackay. Mackay uses his strength to keep him off, and then Sheasel couldn't pick the ball up. And takes it over the line.
What a deliberate.
He almost sucked that one out of the umpire for a deliberate. Did Rewalt.
Did well, Rewalt. He had 2v1. Got the ball out of bounds. That's a win.
What can they do here, the Tigers? They're within 35 metres of goal. There's 44 seconds left in the game. Boundary throw in. Nankervis taken forward. Rewalt was on the run. Sherry got his tackle. Sherry sat him on his backside.
Cop that in your last game.
And if you thought they were going to be gentle on the way out, they are not, Jack.
He's tapped it down and then killed him.
Yes.
All up.
So the ball remains wrapped up and 30 seconds left. Look at Jack.
Poor old Jack.
He's got no air in his lungs.
Won't be able to walk all week.
Prestia, handball to Dow. Dow to Ross. Ross around the corner. Won't get it through. Soldo on the line. Martin Kung Fu style out of the air. Missed. Minor score. So 101 the Tigers.
72 North Melbourne here. 15 seconds, JB, left in the game.
Yeah, they'll go short from that behind kick in, but Core, another short ball. And a free kick might go Tucker's way.
Stand Cam down, play on.
Quick release on the up. Core will get it back on the wing. Time ticking down. There we are. The Tigers exit 2 champions in style.
Look at them stand up and applaud, JB.
Fighting fury, we're from Tigerland. In any weather you will see us with the grin, risking head and shin. If we're behind, then never mind, we'll fight and win, for we're from Tigerland. We never weaken till the final siren's gone. Like the tiger of old, we're strong and we're bold, for we're from Tigerland. Yellow and black, we're from Tigerland.
Not an enormous amount of conviction in it, but you're taking that. If you're the Tigers, you're not making the finals. You should beat the 17th ranked team, and they did.
Just did enough. Did enough to get it done in the end. On a big day for the footy club, of course. Trying to feed the ball late to Cochin and also Rewalt. But probably what we expected rocking up, Burn.
Yep.
Tigers to get the job done. North Melbourne competitive, which has been a step forward for them in recent times, but still not classy enough, not good enough to continue to go the entire way with the better sides.
59,555. That's a very good crowd. Let's get down to Fox Footy.
I don't know, how do you feel? Pretty emotional, to be honest. I think the way the club's helped us celebrate. Again, I want to mention Taz. Obviously he wasn't capable of being out here, but we love him and we love what he's brought to our footy club. To this bloke here, it's been an absolute fucking joy. You know, footy's a special game. It brings people together through the power of story. All different types of people, and I'm just grateful for the journey. It's been amazing.
And to do it here at the MCG, a ground you've had stunning success, and to do it in front of the Tigers faithful, what does that mean?
Look how many came out. It's pretty special. It's an amazing footy club. They really are the heart and soul of us and why we play the game. So lucky for so many special memories, but also for them sticking really fat with us through some really trying times. And you know, I think they're the parts that we'll reflect on and be most grateful for.
And Jack, at the heart of it all is your family, your beautiful children that were able to run out with you, the former teammates, coaches, people that have shaped your journey. How are you feeling now that this glorious road comes to an end?
I suppose it's an amazing journey for both of us. We played our first games of football out here at the MCG in front of the fans that have turned up today. We want to say thank you to everyone who's part of the Richmond Army. There really is no better job in the world than playing for Richmond, and I mean, we've been lucky to do it for 16 and 17 years. We've been involved in 3 amazing premierships, but we've got a lifetime of memories been packed into the time we're here, and we feel so lucky to be at this football club, in this family, for such a long time.
Has it hit you that this is the end, this is the last time you're going to be out in the middle of the MCG in the yellow and black?
Probably not yet, to be honest. Felt like grand final day today. Sort of kept looking at the clock and 2 minutes would go by, and then we got to the ground, and I think it won't sink in till round 1 next year when I come along and sit in the crowd like these amazing people and watch the Tigers run around and yell at the umpires and scream at our team and cheer for the yellow and black.
The boys were looking for you late to try and get you that goal. It wasn't quite working out. It wasn't the fairy tale. But when you look back, do you think your entire career really has been a fairy tale for the young boy from Tassie that came over here to Melbourne?
It's funny. We were so lucky when we came through. We had Shane Edwards, we had Dustin come through, and we just had this good group of young kids that came from all around Australia, and we sort of forged this amazing relationship and friendship, and that's held through so many years and seen so many highs, as Trent said, and so many lows as well. And we've grown from the lows, and we've learnt, and we've tasted ultimate success 3 times, and it is a long way from Bellerive Oval and King Street, and same for Trent from Wallert as well. And we are so lucky that our paths crossed and we all ended up here at the mighty Richmond Football Club.
Jack and Trent, it has been an absolute privilege watching your career.
All right, nicely handled there. We're off to Giants and Essendon shortly. Who's got the best players on the ground? Daisy?
Yeah, I'm going to give one vote to Shea Bolton. Kicked the 4 goals, had 25 possessions. 2 to Nick Larkey. He was fantastic. And 3 votes goes to Dusty Martin.
All right, well done, everyone. Well done to those 3 retiring champions. Jack Zeeble as well. Giants and Essendon. Liam Flanagan heading up. The big team up there, Simon Black, Tommy Rockcliffe, Richard Champion. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, this has been Triple M rocking Saturday afternoon football.
That quarter for Beacon Trade. Beacon Trade's here to partner with your business with lighting and electrical products for every Aussie home. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
For Ream Hot Water.
Triple M rocks footy.
Built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.